Okay, I'm here. How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. Also, I'm going to clean off my monitor real quick because I think it's kind of smudgy. It always gets like gross spit particles on it because I'm talking all stream, and so I have to like make sure I properly what I mean, it's not like bad. It's not like there's a lot. But yeah, there's always like a little bit just because I'm constantly talking right in front of my monitor. But yeah, anyway, how is everyone? I'm sure that was information you all very much wanted to hear. Uh, I hope you're all doing well. You should get some tea. You should get some tea. Everybody should get some tea. Go get some tea. That is a command. Uh, Night tea. Let loose. Oh, hey, observer. Observer's singing. Observer. I still don't know what song that is. I know you say that every time you come into the stream, and it's always the same song, but I still have no idea what song it is. I don't know lyrics. I'm so bad with lyrics. I'm at work right now, so I might only be able to watch a few minutes at a time. Oh, no worries. Ginger Snipe. No worries. Hope you're doing well. Hope work goes well. Happy Monday. If it counts as your Monday. All right. Let me do some painting. Let's do some painting. I don't know. I said let me, but yeah, let's paint some stuff. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, I captions. Hold on, I forgot to turn these on. Just bear with me. Gotta go hunt down the captions. There's that, and also that. Okay. No, wait. Uh-oh. Okay, I think it's working. There we go. We'll try that. Why is Discord so large? Okay. Should you Google the lyrics and surprise us next time? You should Google the lyrics and wait. Uh, I mean, I could Google the lyrics. I could Google the lyrics right now. But I don't know. I kind of like that it's a mystery, to be honest. It's probably a song that I've heard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna keep it as a mystery, Jake. Jake, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. All right, I'm gonna start with some little thumbnails and ideas, and I'm not sure where it's gonna go. This was last stream's painting. Let me open up the thingy, the template thingy. This way too way too effort to type the lyrics. No, it's not too much effort. It's the mystery in it, you know? It could be a song that I'm very familiar with, or it could be one that I've never heard, and it's kind of fun just not knowing. And I don't know. There's something there. Do you guys know what song it is without Googling it? Like, does every single person in chat know what song Observer typed without Googling it? Or am I just alone here? Because I feel like this is pretty common when people type songs in chat. I almost never know what they are. And normally some people know what lyric or what song it is. Know you? No. Allergies are killing me. Oh no, Jake. That's not good. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that I'm not a normal person. I don't know any songs. Okay, yeah, that's how I am. I'm clueless when it comes to songs by lyrics. Who was it? Oh yeah, it was the person we've rated. It was DZ Kawa. So we rated them last stream, and somebody had mentioned a song or something, or somehow a certain song came up, and she started just like singing the song, like word for word, and she knew the whole song. And how I was so confused. Like, how the heck do people do that? Like, I know, yes, she's streaming, and she could have easily just typed it in while streaming, and nobody would have known, and she could have looked up the lyrics. But I don't think so. It gave me the impression that she actually knew the lyrics, and to me, that was mind blowing. Like, I knew the song, like I've heard it many times, but I couldn't remember all the lyrics, certainly not the non-chorusy parts, and it was crazy to me that there's people out there like that who just know lyrics to songs. Like without making an effort to memorize the specific lyrics. Anyway, Yosh Yosh. So yeah, anyway, it was wild. Yeah. Painting time. I have no idea what we're gonna do today, but I think I should just jump right in and start painting stuff. Okay. Also, if anyone has any ideas, feel free to suggest ideas. I think I'll probably Ooh, maybe I have an idea. How do I do it though? Something. Idea cat. Cat's not a bad idea. I mean, cat's always a good idea. Ocean land. We just did an ocean landscape last stream. I don't think we're gonna do another oceany landscape this stream. But yeah, we literally did one last stream. Here, this is what we did last stream. This was very oceany. So yeah, probably not another one. I mean, I've mentioned this before. Underwater environments are not always my favorite. Um, yeah, we did, or I did, but you know what I mean when I say that. I always say we, but stream. I don't know, things that I do on stream. I feel like it's a we because there's people involved, and sometimes people offer suggestions. And anyway, but yeah, so this one, I've mentioned this before, but I'm not always the biggest fan of underwater scenes, mostly because no, I mean beaches, rocks, waves. Oh, okay. Oh, ocean. Oh, I see what you mean by ocean. Rocks, beaches, waves. Okay. Yeah. That could be fun. Rocks, beaches, and waves. I like that. Yeah. Underwater stuff though is kind of hit or miss for me. I feel like the color palettes are always just they feel samey. Even when they're different, they I don't know. Maybe it's I need to just do more studies of underwater stuff so I vary my sort of visual library. But right now I feel like I'm limited enough where they always end up feeling the same for me, even when I paint totally different things. So that's kind of where I'm at with the underwater stuff. But yeah, we can try some beachy, wavy stuff. That sounds fun. That's cool. Thank you, Franzen. Franzen, how are you doing today? Hello. Also, what is that? I've never even bothered to look. A GLHF pledge. Where is that from? How did you get that? Signed the GLHF pledge in the support for inclusive gaming communities. How do I get that? I see like little emojis by your name, and I'm like, I want that. Futuristic dystopian cyberpunk club. I mean, I could do that. That's something we might do actually. That's reasonable. I mean, yeah, we could do that. So this is going to be looking down. And then we have other stuff over here. Maybe there's some shapes. Just trying to make shapes that go light to dark and dark to light. Do hell, like scary. Ooh, we actually did. So we did a hellish scene on a stream a while back where it wasn't really hell. It was like hell, but like a cozy village in hell. So like sort of at the time I was playing a lot of Minecraft, so you can think of like if you were to build like a nice little town but in the Nether. And we came up with this where it kind of looks like a hellscape, but there's like little houses and there's a fence, and you kind of get the impression like it's still very impressionistic because it's not a fully fleshed out idea, but it kind of gives you the vibes of like there's actually a community of people who maybe live here. So that was a fun one. Also, everybody is pink, by the way. Ikapelai. Hope you're doing well, by the way. And absolutely cats, yeah. Cats are good. But yeah, no, I actually like this sort of hellscapey vibes or very just weird, different vibes, maybe even just alien planet vibes, something like that. But yeah, we'll try some stuff like that. I don't know, maybe. I'll think about it. It's a good idea. We got some good ideas so far. But first, I'm just kind of making shapes here, and I'm gonna try some stuff. And then, yeah, so this is gonna be my warm-up, and then I'm gonna switch to some of the ideas that you guys suggested. But how is everyone? What's everyone up to? Hope you're all doing well. And if you're not, I hope you get well soon. Ooh, this could actually be a beachy area. We have, like, somebody mentioned beaches and waves. I don't know what the shapes here were, but I kind of like this. Actually, I'm going to turn this into beaches and waves. Cerberus, but it's a pug. Well, I don't think I'm going to do any creature design. Probably not. Maybe there's some stuff back here. I don't know. Whoops. I don't quite know what's going to go on because we have very large shapes. So now I'm just seeing what might happen here. Maybe we get some reddish color. I feel like red would be a nice color here, I feel like. Red rocks. Maybe there's some blue sky, red rocks, classic beach time vibes. Something like that. Maybe there's some rocks back here. Something like that. I don't know what these rocks are. They're very large. To get the badge, you have to agree with some guidelines of good conduct from anykey.org, the GLHF page. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's always I always like collecting those things. There's like the little dino next to mine. I don't know if it shows up. Let's see. I'll do this. Wait, how do I do this? Yeah, like next to my name, right? You have like I have the little dino from GlitchCon 2020. So there are things like that that are always fun. Where I don't like to miss out on those too much because I don't know. I guess since I spend so much time on Twitch, I like to sort of collect some of the various badges. Mo Varg. Mo Varg, how are you? Oh, this song is not a song here. This is my ending stream song. I'm gonna skip that. Okay. So, if this is a beach or something, this is a very large rock, or this is an extremely large rock in the background, which I think is okay. Maybe that could be part of the fun. We have just mammoth-looking rocks. So maybe there's like a village or something on top of these. Or maybe we flatten it out and we do some like, yeah, I put an actual town on this is more like a hill. Which I feel like is much more realistic, but I don't know if I want to go realistic. Also, I'm going to bring in light shapes, maybe light clouds or something, or maybe this is the sky into here. Some dynamic cloud shapes. I'm well, thank you. Hope you are too. I am doing well. I am doing well. We will see how I do by the end of stream, though, because I have not been sleeping well. And so I took a nap before stream. Well, I was working late also, and so on my way home, I ate breakfast about 2.5 hours ago, or ate food, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, maybe lunch. And then I got home and I napped for an hour and a half, which went really well. And so now I'm up, I'm awake, and I feel fine. But I also think I'm going to get hungry before the end of stream, and I also think I'm going to get really tired. So we'll see how I last after 4 hours of talking mostly consistently, but yeah. Not going to worry about that right now, because right now I feel good. I mean, I realize I could always take a break too, but I never take breaks. Not while streaming. It just feels weird. Feels weird to take breaks while streaming. I know it's good and it's healthy and people don't actually care, but something about it makes me overthink it or something. I'm sure you'll manage. Yeah, I'll manage. I'll be fine. Okay. What about this do I like? I feel like I need to make this much, much larger. I mean, I don't need to, but... Or I could break these shapes up into smaller shapes. What do I want to paint? I mean, I kind of like the idea of a little village or something back here. Ooh, I actually have an idea. Okay, I've got an idea. Okay, so I'm going to copy this whole thing. Hey, Saltique. I don't know if that's how you say your name, but thanks for popping in. How are you? Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to darken this, like, a lot, just with an overlay layer. Make it dark. And then I'm going to blast it with a color dodge brush. Glow dodge. Light. Maybe something like that. No, that's too uniform. Maybe with a bright red. Something like that could be fun though. Where we have like the red sun coming down, lighting up everything. Maybe there's little houses back here in the dark. These backgrounds look pretty cool. What am I up to? I am up to, so every stream, or I guess not every stream, but most streams, I start off with a whole bunch of little thumbnails like this. And these were from last stream. Sometimes I do 6, sometimes I do 9. I typically try to fill up a page, but I don't always get there because I oftentimes will go off on tangents and rant and talk about random art stuff and, you know, like explain what I'm doing or my thought process. But anyway, sometimes we'll have a thumbnail like this, and then we will vote on it at the 2-hour mark, and then we'll take it and we'll just scale it up, and then I'll start painting on it. And this is where last stream's painting ended. So I try to do these on stream, and I try to get as far as I can. So basically taking some tiny idea like this, which is just essentially underwater with glowy stuff, not exactly original, and turn it into something. Sometimes I try to use the general composition, like in this one we have this little cliff thingy, and this we kind of oops, I flipped, but we sort of maintain that. We have that little cliff thingy, and this is like sitting on the edge. But anyway, so I try to just kind of take them and develop them into something. They're not always great, but it's kind of a fun way to sort of start out with no ideas and turn it into something by the end of stream. That's kind of the mission statement, I guess, of stream is just play around, explore for a couple hours, and develop an idea as we go along. So I don't really start with a big plan. There's no, major themes or structure really. It's just sort of coming up with ideas, picking one and working on it. But also there's always a lot of different starting points. So if I know maybe I do know the theme and I can start with the theme, and then we try to develop it further, or maybe it's just like I want to paint something that's pink, and so I pick a pink color and I go from there and turn it into an idea somehow. So it's a lot of that kind of thing. Basically, I'll start at any starting point, but they're typically environments. And do you sell these, or are they just for fun? So sometimes I will take these and turn it into like an actual painting, or I'll upload it somewhere. And then I do have prints technically that I can sell, but I don't typically sell them. I do give them out. I do mail them to people through channel points on Twitch. So if you people who spend time here, they can redeem prints, and I'll just mail them like a small print. They're little tiny prints, so they're not like big prints or anything. But yeah, that's something I do for free. But I do sell prints, but honestly, not really. Like I technically have a place, like I have an imprint where I can sell prints. But if you'd have to probably ask me to upload the one that you wanted if you did ever want one, because I don't really update it. And I kind of will just I do so many little stream paintings. I mean, I do a full painting a stream. Well, not really a full painting, but mostly a full painting a stream. And so I don't put them all up there. I don't even upload them all to Instagram or ArtStation or DeviantArt or any one place. So a lot of them is kind of by like if somebody does a print redeem on stream, they can redeem prints that I work on of the things that I'm doing. But I'm not gonna like make that a main thing. If like I'm not gonna put that into like an official inventory or stock of prints, and so like yeah, they're kind of limited, but it depends on if there's yeah, mostly I just take the ones that I like working on. So here, let me bring some up that I have worked on and that I finished. So for example, where am I looking? I'm trying to find a certain painting. 1 second. Why is it so hard to find? I feel like I've lost a painting. And I don't know where it is. How did I lose it? I know I was doing stuff with prints yesterday. Because I was ordering prints. Whatever, I'll use this print as an example. Okay, so these were thumbnails, and we voted. Actually, I like this one. I might copy it for today and use that as a template thing. But anyway, so we did a bunch of these, and this one was kind of fun. I think people thought it kind of looked like a fairy forest or something, or like a little village of some sort. And so I took this idea, and I started working on it. And let me find a... I don't know if I have a good work in progress of this, but I do have... Gosh, I'm so disorganized today. Yeah, let's go with this. So I did turn it into this, right? And I did this... I put more time into this than I do for... It's funny because I'm still not super thrilled with the outcome, but I ended up putting more time into this painting than I do some of them. And so this was beyond just a stream painting. I did actually work, there I put some details and stuff, kind of. Characters are not my strong suit. But anyway, so I did more stuff like that. And so yeah, I will be getting a few prints of this, and I will put it up on, I still need to upload it to Instagram and all the socials and stuff. I'm still kind of annoyed that I can't find... Oh, here it is. This is the one I wanted to show. So we did a bunch of thumbnails, like always. We vote as a community. We voted for this. And then from here, I started painting it. And I think I ended with this. So this is what I ended. I ended the stream with this painting. And I was pretty happy with it. I mean, it was a... Like, it's a start, right? It's clearly not a finished painting, but it was far enough along where you can start to get an idea of what it could be. But I actually really liked it, so I kept working on it. And I eventually made it into this, which obviously went a lot further. There's a lot more details, and it's just a different thing, right? So there's a lot of... So basically, we do this on stream, and then if I choose, I'll continue it. And, there's that kind of thing, right? So there's extra polish. Am I self-taught? Yeah, I guess you could say self-taught for like self-curriculumed. Is that a word? Can I use curriculum like that? Self-curriculumed. Yeah, lots of YouTube, lots of some art books and some online tutorials, some paid, some not, but mostly free stuff. like 95% of 99% of everything is free stuff online that I've learned from, and then the other 1% is like tutorials and random things that so no like real courses or no formal education. So yeah, self-taught in that manner. But anyway, so this is a lot of what we do on stream. We take an idea, we develop it, and then we maybe hopefully develop it further. But I typically will do the finalizing off stream. How long did it take for me to get to this level? Probably about 10 years ish. But it's oh gosh, that's a hard question because it's never linear, right? Like the first few years, it's very much a hobby. You do it, in but you do it when you're done, you just do it when you have free time and you don't really worry much about it. And then at some point you're like, oh wow, this is really gonna be a thing and I'm gonna put in tons and tons of time. And then you might have like a year where you kind of just chill out and do other stuff with life. And I don't know. I mean it's hard, but 10 years so far is what it's been pretty much. Anyway, let's close that and that and that. I'm closing all these. Okay, there we go. This one can stay open. So yeah, probably 10 years, I think. I technically I got my tablet in December of 2012, I think. It was a Christmas. So I got my first digital tablet Christmas of December 2012. And up to that point, I had done some art. I kind of knew some perspective. Like, I had done drawing. I had never really painted. So I didn't know anything about composition. I didn't know anything about values. I didn't even know what the word values was. I didn't know that was a thing. I knew a little bit about... Yeah, basically all I knew was a little bit about perspective. And I did some, like, pencil drawing and stuff. But it wasn't very good. And then I thought this painting thing seems really cool. I also had some design background because I was actually in school for landscape architecture, which sounds more similar to what I'm doing than it actually is. But there's some designy stuff where, this sort of idea of taking an idea and iterating on it and thinking in terms of a designer as opposed to like a painter. So there are some things that I guess helped. But then coming out of college is actually when I started teaching myself to paint. And by teaching, again, using YouTube and all that. But yeah, so when I got my digital tablet, that was really the first time that I started trying to learn to paint. And yeah, I didn't know a thing about painting, or digital for that matter. So it was sort of a me floundering around for like the first 2 years or first year was basically not doing any painting. I don't know if I actually did any real painting in the first year. It was pretty, occasionally I would be watching a lot of art videos, a lot of a YouTube channel called Level Up with these 3 Polish artists, or 2 Polish artists and another guy who may not be Polish. I don't know. Anyway, there was these 3 artists, and they would sometimes interview a 4th person, or sometimes there was 2, but they'd interview a 3rd. And basically it was just different professional artists in like the video game and movie industry, a lot of concept artists, some illustrators. They would all demo their process, and occasionally they would say something or show something that seemed pretty approachable from like my noobish level, and so I might like try a painting based on something that they said, or like do a thing with what they said in mind. But I might do like 1 painting a year or something. It was at the start it was basically not painting. It was just learning because I didn't really even like painting that much. I actually just liked learning about painting because it's not super fun to paint when you feel like you're terrible at it, at least for me. Which I don't feel that way anymore. One, because I think I've gotten better, but also I just actually enjoy painting now. So I sort of I kind of learned to like painting, honestly. But anyway, I was really enthusiastic about the idea of learning to paint, and I liked learning. So I sort of, yeah, watching the videos made me feel like I was learning something. Then I would try it out, and it would sort of kind of work, and I could see the improvement sometimes immediately, sometimes not. And I think it was sort of that understanding that this is a skill that I can learn and sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like this is how I can get there. Like I see what these amazing artists are doing, and I kind of understand that this is an approachable thing. Like it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be long, but it's totally possible. Um, and I think for the first time, that's kind of what made me inspired to learn. And so yeah, I just kind of started playing around with Photoshop for a while and trying some things, going very slow, like things like learning what values were, and I'd listen to literally hundreds of these interview things with these artists, and 80% of them, every time. By the way, anytime I mention a percentage, I'm totally making it up. I'm just guessing, but something like 80% of these artists would constantly talk about values. So at some point, I'm like, oh, this value thing must be pretty important. And so I would like Google values art in YouTube and see what pops up, and maybe sometimes in these interviews they would actually explain what it was. Most of the time they wouldn't, though, because it wasn't really for a beginner audience. I was just listening to these essentially professionals chat about art, and so you hear them say things sort of in their natural habitat, if you will, that didn't really relate to me. It wasn't like it wasn't really educational in that sense. It was probably not meant for a beginner audience, but I was sort of fascinated by their skill, and so I just listened to them, and at some point I'm like, oh, this stuff's starting to make some sense. And so yeah, then I started to kind of pick up the lingo, and I started to be able to self-research and learn, and if somebody tried to explain something, I may not have the skills, but I had the vocab kind of to understand what they were talking about a little bit. And after just sort of binge watching and listening to all these different things, I kind of started to piece together some of the skills, or at least know what I could work on, so that when I started painting, I could almost start asking for a critique, or I could start self-critiquing. And so yeah, that just very slowly over the course of, it ramped up pretty quick. I would say the first 3 years, I gathered a lot of the understanding of what the sort of fundamentals are, and that sort of terminology, where I sort of knew what sort of things to think about and look for in art. But then over the next 6 years, I actually started painting and looking at my paintings, seeing where they fell flat, and then trying to adjust it. Also, lots of competitions, I guess you could call it, or contests. So DeviantArt would put these on like once a year. There was like a few months where they would do a whole bunch of them. They had some for like Hearthstone, where you would get to design a card, or they had like character design contests, maybe based on the steampunk characters, or they'd have just some illustration contest for some game that's coming out. And I always like to enter these because I got to see it was like a free critique in a way, right? You obviously, I wasn't going to win anything, because I wasn't very good, but I would start to get sort of a sense of where I'm at compared to where I think I'm at. And it was always sort of a letdown. And after like 4 or 5 of these, I started to realize that, I should stop expecting myself, like sometimes I'd think that I was doing really good, and then I would, I'd be like, oh, I have a real shot at winning these contests. And then come the end of the contest and I see the finals, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't have a shot. These guys were so much better. And yeah, so, but it was sort of like an eye-opening experience, and I think that was really valuable because I started to like, oh wow, their image is so much more dynamic than mine, right? And so I started thinking about composition, because I already had the vocab at this point, and I already kind of knew the concepts. I just didn't know how to apply them. And so being able to basically directly compare my work to other people's work on the same prompt was sort of it was an eye-opening experience, because then I could sort of evaluate my own work up against like how other people did it. Like, oh, it's an action scene. Well, my image does not portray the sense of action, right? There's no action in here. Whereas these other people's are super dynamic, and they're, and it shows that their image just worked better than mine. And they were just better at painting stuff. So yeah, I think that was a big kind of turning point, maybe. I don't know. I feel like there haven't been a lot of those contests lately, though. Like in the last couple years. There's been a couple, and a couple that haven't interested me at all. Anyway, I don't know what that is, but it's kind of a cool painting so far. I feel like these are lights from the... I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's move on to another thumbnail. I've just spent 40 minutes on one little thumbnail and lots of rants. How did that happen? Okay, what were some of the other oh, somebody said hell. Okay, I like that prompt because it's going to be a fun... I don't know if it's actually going to be a helly painting, but it's going to be an opportunity to just dive in with bright colors. Just going to blur things. Starting with values. Going to make some dark foreground probably. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll do like a dark midground. Be fun. But yeah, I mean, I still very much have the attitude of I expect to be painting for the rest of my life. And so I'm not really in a massive hurry to get good, so to speak. And I know it's kind of a joke, but you know those like sayings like telling people to get good at things, and I think it probably originated in video games where it's sort of this attitude of like, oh, get good, you know, and sort of like making fun of people. I kind of, in some ways, more and more, I find myself bringing that approach to art a little bit, where I feel like I'm gonna be doing this for so long. Like I'm in no rush to like, you know, get a job right now and you know, have to like put out a bunch of content and stuff and like it's not I don't know. I don't really feel that massive pressure. I feel like I have a long I don't know, it's a slow journey and I don't really mind if I sort of take my time and focus on getting good. Like it's not I think I feel like I hear a lot of people kind of with the sentiment of them wanting to sort of speed run it and it's I don't know, I don't like again, I'm gonna be doing this for probably the rest of my life. So what is that? Like I'm in my mid 30s. I started in my mid 20s. Right? I've been doing this for 10 years, like I said. And yeah, if I'm doing this for, let's say, the next 40 years until I'm 75, let's say, um, I don't know, that's a really long time. Like, that's 4 times longer than the total time I've been doing art already, right? So, like, not to mention, yeah, I mean, I've still hardly even tipped my toe into it, it feels like. And so hopefully I'm gonna keep on getting better. I'm gonna keep on improving. And I don't see myself, like, sure, the progress is gonna slow down. But as far as, like, I don't know, like, I guess that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't feel like there's a ton of pressure to sort of go quickly in art. Because you're probably gonna be doing it for a very long time, right? Even if you're a hobbyist, but you just really enjoy art, like you can just keep on sticking to it. You don't have to like force yourself to be a you know, the greatest of all time right now or something. Nush Arts, hello, how are you? Azel, hello, welcome in. Kath, hello, water creator, hope you're doing well. Pet. I don't know what that means. Hi. Thank you for the hearts, Water. How are you, Water? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good today. I like the idea that there's this maybe in hell there is a this nice cool like an oasis. I like the concept of an oasis. I've always have and there's a lot of I've mentioned this a lot on stream like an oasis just meaning like a place where resources are plentiful and depending on where you are that resource could change it could be like whatever resource is scarce so in hell it could be like shade and comfort maybe there's like this one cool spot down in this rock and everything else is like on fire and then you have like the sun in the foreground here. Devil's Pen. I don't know. No, I just mean, yeah, I'm just thinking from like a conceptual point of view. Like maybe there's a, maybe we do this fiery and extremely hot looking environment, but then we have like a cool little section in it where it gives us a bit of comfort and calm or something. Nooming around while learning to noom. Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Kath asked, what are you nooming to? Gonna go noom. Nooming around while learning. I don't know what that means. I feel like, Water, you are breaking my brain today. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I appreciate it. Uh, uh, now asking the real questions. Yeah, for real. So yeah, I am open to suggestions about what I'm learning how to drive is my guess. Oh, learning to drive. I see. Well, stay safe. Don't go too fast. Don't be one of those people who feel like they have to go fast all the time. I don't know why, but I had a friend in college who, I don't know what it was, but I feel like he prided himself on being an impatient driver, which is like the stupidest thing to pride yourself on. But it was frustrating driving with him because he would like always be commenting on all the people in front of him. And oh God, I'm gonna make a really stupid video game analogy here. But he was always commenting on all the people in front of him and how they're terrible at driving, and he would just get angry and stuff and always blame other people. And it was like, to me, that was like the telltale sign that you're the bad driver because he's so focused on other people that he wasn't actually focusing on what he was doing, and so he never actually really probably improved. And this is how I feel about video games or even art, to be honest. If you and I'm gonna little life lesson, I guess. Uh, Impatient driver. That's not how you pass the exams. I mean, I'm just talking about like life lessons here. Like, I feel like there's a certain type of person where, and this again, I'm thinking back to like playing League of Legends days, uh, when I played a lot of that game and a lot of Dota and a lot of these MOBA games, right? Uh, where you have a team and you're trying to accomplish an objective and beat your opponents. But I noticed that people who are so caught up in like blaming others for their losses and stuff, they never actually climb that high. I mean, not there's exceptions, but I always got the sense that it's like you're I don't know, it always frustrated me, and I think at some point, and again, this relates back to art and the way that I sort of realized I can learn art is that looking around and you see that like the only way to actually keep on improving is to focus on yourself and what you're doing and stop worrying about what other people are doing because you can't control them. And so it doesn't matter if you have a maniac driver in front of you or not because that's the scenario you're given. And so you're still doing the same thing you would do anyway, which is you react to the people on the road and you follow the rules of the road and you be safe and predictable. And it's like it doesn't really matter if you have a crazy maniac on the road with you or not, because you're there, they're there, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? So it's sort of like you deal with the stuff you can do. And with art it's the same, right? Worrying about what other people are painting or worrying about how other people think about your art or worrying about other things that you can't control. And I feel like with art it very much sort of is the same it's the same sort of concept. It's like just stop worrying about it and get good, basically. Right? I know it sounds blunt when you say it like that because it's kind of silly, but it's like there's nothing really to do other than to just focus on what you can control. And I think driving, I don't know, and so something about like having that friend in college who always got angry at other people, I just it just kind of soured my experience of in somehow that person a little bit. Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Don't be an angry driver. Angry drivers suck. Be the chill person. Channel your inner monk, in your inner zen something. I don't know. Uh, the way you drive on your exam is way different than the way you drive when you get your license. Rather slow, focus on reinforcing instead of fast and falling down. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah. Also, I heard a funny thing, which I totally agree with, by the way. I feel like in most things, and maybe goes back to learning skills, you kind of have to keep pushing yourself to learn skills, right? Like you have to with art, you have to keep trying new things. In video games, you have to keep playing against people who are better than you or equally, or pushing you and challenging you, right? If you just play against bots all day, you're never going to become a pro. Like you at some point have to push yourself, right? And you have to learn new things. But we don't do that with driving, right? Maybe for good reason, but like once you pass your exam, most people, I think, they'll never really improve at driving. They're not testing themselves. They're not putting themselves in new situations and learning how to react. Maybe if you drive in a place where there's snow, you may go to like a parking lot and slam on your brakes and like see how your vehicle handles in on ice or something. But like outside of like really, really basic learning things, like most people don't probably ever really improve. Like you do the thing, right? It's like there's a lot of people I think who sort of do things like, and again, this relates to art, where like you do a lot of art and you're like, why am I not good? And it's like, well, you're not really practicing, you're just doing the thing, right? Just doing the motions isn't going to make you better, right? Just driving isn't going to make you a better driver necessarily. There might be some situations, like every close call you have is probably going to be a thing you can learn from, right? Or anytime you see a crazy driver do something and you're like, oh wow, now I realize that's something people can do. Let me focus on how I can avoid that in the future, right? But outside of like those rare times, I don't really feel like most people probably get better at driving because you're not actually practicing. You're just doing it, right? You're just going through the motions. Um, and so, yeah, most people are pretty bad at driving. Like, that's just something you have to learn to accept, right? And because I don't think they can really get better. And same thing with most things, right? If you just do the thing, and again, this kind of is relating back to art. Uh, if you just do art and you aren't actually thinking about what you're doing and you're not trying new things, you're probably not going to improve that fast. And I do feel like there's a lot of just, I guess it's just like basic skill building, honestly. That I don't know. I'm glad that I started doing art later. Somehow I'm like still on the question of how did I get into art, or how long have I been doing art? But yeah, it's kind of all just a big answer to that question, which is I don't know. I do find it an interesting topic of building skills and trying to push yourself a little and accepting that you don't really know all you think you probably know and sort of being humble about it. I don't know. I feel like all those. I realize I'm sounding very preachy today with like weird life lessons and stuff, which I don't claim to be great at this any either. But I just feel like these are the topics that are on my head, so I'm talking about them. But forgive me if I'm sounding like a weird, broken, preachy record. What I don't get is the reflex to honk first rather than actually braking and avoiding traffic. True, Nush Arts. That is a good example. So I don't drive. I have my license and I drove a lot early on because I commuted like an hour to and from. So 2 hour total commute time to one of my jobs. And so it was an hour there and an hour back. And yeah, that was a lot of driving racked up pretty fast and just lots of, it was mostly highway driving, but it was yeah, that idea that like if something goes wrong that you're first going to honk. Like I don't know if I ever honked at anybody because by the time I think to honk, I'm already reacting like I don't, yeah, it's weird, right? Like I don't I don't know. I don't know if I've ever honked at anybody. Maybe once. I might have like honked at a deer or something in the road once. That was just standing there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I've ever honked at anything. Yeah, not much of a honker, but some people do. I always just imagine people who honk are angry, but I also know that's not always true. Fire Dragon. Oh, okay. I will send you that print. Thank you, Water. Speaking. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know what the print redemption that Water Creator just redeemed is, basically, I will by hanging out in chat, you rack up the what's called channel points. They're also called layers of depth. You accumulate those, and then you can cash them in for prints, and I will send you a real physical print in the mail if you want. And yeah, everything made sense. I remember when I was driving in New Zealand, I was so confused that I kept getting honked at until someone told me that people honk to say thank you over there. Oh, weird. They honk to say thank you. That is so strange. I like it though. Yeah. It'd be like if someone told you that talking in all caps was actually a way of whispering. You'd be like, "What? Is it really?" Like I always thought it was yelling, you know? Like I think of all caps as yelling. But what if you visited somewhere or talked to in a community where all caps is like assumed to be a very quiet and polite way of talking? It is cute. It is a cute thought that people honk to say hello. Maybe the person who told you that was just being kind to you and they wanted to I don't know. Maybe they were just being kind. Maybe you were actually being maybe you were making everyone angry and the person was breaking the news to you and like just by saying, "Oh, it wasn't a big deal." They were just saying hello. Wasn't your fault. Honking is good for a warning, but I don't think it should be a reaction like that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, if there's someone who like falls asleep at the wheel or something, or they're uh or they're, sitting at an intersection and they're not moving, like I get it. It's okay to honk to bring attention to it. That's how I would use it probably. But yeah, as the reaction to things is kind of weird. Or even parking is helpful. Wait, how do you honk in assistance with parking? I don't even know what that would look like. I'm not the most experienced driver, by the way. I feel like I'm probably a very average driver. If there's anything that makes me think I might be better than average at driving, or was better at average than driving, is the fact that I didn't think I was a great driver and I was kind of aware of it. I wasn't overconfident. But I don't actually think I was a good driver, all things considered. I just also think most people also aren't good drivers. Uh, Sometimes honking can cause the yeah, gosh, distractions are so real. Like, wasn't there a thing where I forgot what it was? I think it was like maybe it was fake. Gosh, I'm thinking it was probably fake. I remember there was a thing where somebody had apparently put like a nudity on a billboard on the side of a truck or something, and I don't know if it was like for whatever reason it was allowed. Maybe it was just in a country where that was okay, but still uncommon. And it turned. I guess they somehow I believe, and I could be totally wrong in this. Maybe I'm making things up, but I'm pretty sure they kind of tracked the number of accidents, and there was like actually a lot of accidents happening around it because people were distracted. And again, I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it wouldn't surprise me because I think anything that's taking your eyes off the road or making you think about something else for a split moment, like that's a moment where you're not going to be able to react properly to other things because your brain's occupied. And I feel like, yeah, honking could totally do that. You know, you're a driver doing your stuff and you hear a random honk and now you're focused on the honker instead of the person in front of you or whatever is actually supposed to be happening. Um, so yeah, I do feel like stuff like that where it's gonna be more distracting. I would be curious. I bet there's data on that. If honking actually is helpful or not. Well, a lady did cause a major accident in a race when she flashed a driver. Oh no. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I do feel like stuff like that where some people think like, "Oh, I'm just calling attention to stuff." And it's like you're actually distracting. Speaking of distractions, I I'm gonna trash talk someone. I'm not gonna say their name ever because I don't like trash talking people. But it's not really trash talking. It's just I didn't have the guts to speak up or say anything, and so I just lived with this frustration of constantly out of a constant annoyance. Um, but anyway, the person he was a coworker of mine. He actually no longer works where I work. And I want to say thank goodness because he was I don't know if he was doing it for attention or not, but he would just like make like it wasn't like Tourette's, right? Didn't have he was just like he just enjoyed being loud, right? He would like throw stuff and make noises and randomly yell and shout and just I think he was just trying to be silly or have fun and stuff, but it would always drag my attention out of whatever I was doing and it felt like it was like this demanding of like my attention's focused on one thing and then suddenly it just draws my attention even just for a split moment, right? And like, somebody might sneeze and he would be the one to yell bless you super duper loud and like why? Like I didn't it just all it does is steal up people's attention and it just seemed like it was a major like it was so unproductive, I felt like. Even though what I do doesn't require brain power, but it's like the fact that you keep on stealing attention is just not productive. It can't be. And it always made me a little angry. And I realized it was, I could have, again, it's kind of like getting angry at a driver. I shouldn't have gotten angry at it. It's kind of silly, but like, I don't like it when people steal attention. You know? Like, I only have so many brain cells. Like, please don't take them. Yeah, that's how I always felt. I don't know. Have you guys ever had experienced that where like there's someone who's just demanding of attention? Some people are just super. Well, that's the thing though. He wasn't always loud. So there would be times where he was super quiet, and then in like suddenly he would be loud. So it's not like you could just tune out the loudness. Like actually, I had a roommate who was very very loud, and I actually didn't mind it at all. I don't mind loud people. In fact, I don't mind it at all. But it was the spontaneity of the loudness that was attention grabbing. You know what I mean? It was like a focal point. Again, it was to relate it back to art, it was like just having all these unintentional focal points in your day, right? You're just living your life and suddenly you're focusing on things that you never in a million years would have cared about because they're drawing this giant they're just like drawing your attention there. And it's yeah, it was a lot is what I'm saying. So yeah, don't be like that person. Give free candies out in a box or write thank you notes and gives them at lunch, but not scream and throw stuff at work. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it wasn't even that. It's just like being loud. I mean, sometimes it would be like mumbling to yourself, and it's like, then if they're walking by you, they'd start talking to themselves. I'm like, wait, did you say something to me? They're like, oh no, I was just minding my own business. Like, dang it, well, stop doing that. Like it's fine if you talk to yourself, but when you only do it when you start to approach somebody, now you're just stealing attention. Like it's just confusing, you know? And again, this very much relates to me to art with like focal points and unintended focal points. Like it's all a matter of communication, and you're communicating things you aren't actually trying to, right? Like you're communicating that you're in distress, or you're communicating that you are talking to someone when you're not, or so I don't know. It's that kind of thing. Okay, what else am I gonna paint today? I'm going very slowly on thumbnails. What were some of the other options for thumbnails for today? Did anyone have any suggestions? Oh wait, Crunchy! I didn't see you! Hello, Crunchy! I don't know if you're still here, but hi! In maybe another month, I have enough for my next 4 prints. My Joe collection is growing. Aw, nice. Also, hi, Crunchy. Yeah, I didn't see you. I missed your messages. I missed you coming in. Ducks. Oh yeah, ducks. That was a thing. Was it? We could do like a pond of ducks. That would be fun. Just like a cute little, not super fantasy themed thing. I mean, not that these are super fantasy or anything. They sneak in. Ha ha ha. Yeah. More like I was just not. Have I painted a rain? I have. I actually have a print with a rainbow in it. It's subtle. Gosh, there are some subjects I don't want to say I've never learned to paint, but I find them extremely hard to paint. Um, and I think rainbows are one of them. To me, they never look good in paintings. Like, rainbows are beautiful in real life, but I don't think I've ever seen a painting where I'm like, wow, that rainbow really makes it good. I'm I'm open to suggestions and how you can paint rainbows that look really good. But I haven't seen a lot of rainbows in paintings that I think make the painting better. I think they are always stand out. I dare if they're so hard. It's so hard to make a good. It's really hard to make a rainbow look good in painting, in my opinion. This is my personal take on it. I'm not saying that if you've ever painted a rainbow, it's gonna look bad, but I have tried it a few times. Every time it does not look good. There's one time that I thought was okay to put it here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go to print. Let me find a... Well, my issue with rainbows is that it's hard to make the color palette look good. If it's the focal point, that's fine. But if it's anything other than the focal point, it's going to look funky. Let me find the print that I do have a print with literally with a rainbow in it. Where is it? Sorry for the clickety. Can you hear the clickety clack? This one. This one has a subtle rainbow. See, and I thought this is also very tiny size, so it's kind of pixelated. Joe going to make some Pride Month art? All the rainbows? Maybe. That would be fun. I didn't even connect the dots, Rona, with a rainbow and Pride Month. But yeah, maybe. It could be fun to try. Yeah, so that's what I did here. I made it very faded. Also, I worked the colors of the rainbow into the painting itself. So I had like some of the pink and some of the blues and some of the purples, right? Like I had a lot of rainbowy colors already. And it's super subtle. And I thought that was kind of okay. That's a nice rainbow right there. I don't even know if it comes across very well, but I thought that was okay. Now make another. They look a bit. I thank you, Nush Art. I think you just said much more bluntly than what I was trying to say. I think they look cheesy. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like one of the art things that you know every kid draws rainbows, and it's sort of like one of the first things that you draw, sort of, and not in Pride Month. Well, I mean, I don't think it matters when. I think it always. I mean, not always. Okay, like I say. I think there's ways to do it well. I struggle with it. That's what I'm saying. I just think it's hard. Also, who cares? Rainbows are nice. No. What I'm saying is, I think from an image making standpoint, I just don't think they look super nice. Like, it's kind of like my gripe with underwater scenes. I oftentimes don't make underwater scenes look super appealing. And I find they're really hard to introduce lots of interesting lighting or interesting colors unless you're really shallow underwater and like tropical looking stuff. Um, but if you're like really deep down in the dark depths of underwater, I find it hard to come up with new and interesting color palettes, and because I feel like our idea of what deep dark underwater looks like starts to kind of merge. Um, and I feel like rainbows kind of are on the same level for me, where it's just not really an aesthetic that I think typically comes off super well. I can try to paint something rainbowy. But yeah, Rona, I wasn't even thinking of Pride Month, honestly, when somebody said rainbow. But yeah, that's I guess more of a reason to paint something rainbowy. We can try it. I don't really know how. I'm just complaining over here. I should stop complaining and just do it. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Roy G. Biv. That's what it is. Red. I'm just gonna sprinkle in some colors. Red, orange, yellow. Green-ish. That's not very green. Greenish. Green, blue. Also, I don't want a very green. Give in to the cheese a little sometimes anyway. Yeah, I agree. Don't be a chicken. No, I agree. I need to do that. And then we'll go a darker blue. There. Anyway, that's pretty rainbowy, right? There we go. That's pretty rainbowy. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not actually gonna paint the rainbow in here really. I'm just gonna blur it around. And then I'm gonna just work these into the colors. Seek discomfort. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was literally talking about that earlier, right? Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna paint directly in here, right over the top of it, and then I can work the rainbow back in if I need. Purple at the bottom. Yeah, we'll go purpley and stuff. You can have Rona in chat and just ignore purple. uh, yeah, purple at the bottom. Rona. Purple at the bottom. Oh, at the bottom of the rainbow. I see what you mean. Like that. Yeah. My chat was delayed. Yeah. Well, I don't even know quite what I'm gonna do here. I'm still trying to figure it out. With like glitter particles and stuff. Yeah. So I'm not really trying to paint the rainbow right now. In fact, it's probably gonna be deleted before I work on this. But I'm just trying to work it into the painting so that I have the appropriate color palette and yeah. Maybe we'll do like a tower or something. Some sort of building. I don't know. We gotta go fantasy with this. Ooh, I know. So maybe there's a rainbow and it's gonna go over this stuff. And under here there's like hold on, let's see. I don't think rainbows can reflect their light because that's not how it works. Because it's not actually the light. Wait, yeah, rainbows can't actually cast their light, right? Because that's just an illusion of the light in your eyes, right? It's not actually shining. I don't think the rainbow colors like yeah, it's not like a physical thing in that spot. Like it's just it rainbows move as you move. Um, so I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get like reflected light down here. But maybe there's a way to introduce some fun colors and stuff, some shimmering lights. We're gonna go shimmery on this, I think. And yeah, there can be a little bit of clouds. Gonna get a little bit of darkness up here because just to guide the eye into the painting. So purely thinking compositionally right now. Maybe something over here. Maybe that's too much. I already liked it. Thanks. I know, a dark and grim scene with a god rays and a rain. See, that to me sounds super cheesy, but I kind of like it. I will say I do think a painting with a rainbow as the focal point is bound to look better from an image point of view than one where you just sneak it in. But also, when rainbows are the focal point, I think they become increasingly cheesy. So it's kind of this balancing act of like you either lean into the maximum cheese. Oh, in your mind they don't look cheesy? Okay. I always thought they do. I don't know why. It's something about again, I think the reason for me that it looks cheesy is because most of the time people don't take into like an overall color palette. So it's just slapped in this like these, this very bright saturated focal point. I'm sure there's a way to do it, right? Where that isn't the case. No, I didn't delete. I might delete the rainbow before I'm over. It might happen, but I'm gonna add it back if I do. I'm just trying to figure out. I feel like I want lots of colors. So you know what? I'm gonna lean into the rainbow thing and I'm gonna make lots of shapes. And these shapes are gonna be plants. It's gonna be tropical or something. I don't know if it's tropical or what, but there's gonna be lots of shapes. Lots of colors. It's gonna just be I'm gonna try to introduce a lot of colors. Because I want the color palette to not be dominated by the rainbow, but I also want the rainbow to be a focal point. Who had that creature elimination? Wait, did we? I didn't. Do I eliminate creatures in my paintings? I guess I kind of do. So these are going to be the little plants. Kind of stick into the grays here, but then we're also going to add a lot of little things sticking up. Maybe some little shapes here. Kind of viney and lots of something. I feel like this doesn't really make sense. I'm not quite sure what's happening here and how there's a rainbow, but whatever. I like rainbow. Rainbows can have different shapes and can be more than one. Yep, I did know that. Yeah, no, I realize rainbows are. This is not going to be a super accurate rainbow, by the way. I mean, I'll probably gather some references or something. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do. Maybe I should change this to like rainbow environments for the title of the stream. I'm kind of vibing with the idea of doing a bunch of little thumbnails with rainbows. Like I went from like not liking the idea at all to thinking this is a fun challenge. Uh, it's probably not going to turn out super great, but it's kind of a fun challenge. I don't know whose idea this was, but it was a good idea, by the way. Thank you for suggesting it. Oh god, Rona's gonna kill me. Joe deleting the orange. Rainbow waterfall. Yeah, kind of rainbowy waterfall. purple in here. And some red in there. I want all the colors of the rainbow in this painting. Which is an obvious statement when you're painting a rainbow. Imagine painting a rainbow without all the colors of the rainbow. But what I meant was I want the colors of the rainbow in the painting, not where the rainbow is also. Like, I want little hints of, blue or reds in here, and yeah. But Joe, you erased a ginger cat-shaped blob from today's number 3. No. I wish I could paint any idea in my hand. That's artistic goal. So I'm not. This is not. Okay. This is like rant topic number 1. Like, this is the. If you want to get me to rant, you just say what you just said. I wish I could paint any idea in my head that's artistic. That's my artistic goal. I think it's a totally okay goal, but I don't think it's all it's cracked up to be. Because I think a lot of painting is designing the thing and tweaking it to make it look good on the page, not necessarily in your head, right? Like, what's in your head, you might see it in without a border, without context for composition, and where the edges go out the page, and with tangents. Buckle up, going for a run. Yeah, pretty much. So when I paint stuff like this, I don't envision it in my head. I'm slapping down something, and then I'm reacting to it. I'll be back in 15. All right. See ya, Rana. So yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. Is I don't think it's the gold standard of sort of like art skill that people make it out to be, because I think there's a lot of composition and storytelling and exploring ideas and doing iterations of things and really designing that just doesn't happen in your head, right? Again, to use the old example, an architect, when you tell them what you want, they don't just know what it is. They have to go through a long and laborious process of really fleshing out the details and doing iterations of things and getting it right and building models to try to understand what it actually feels like to be in that space. And they'll change it and they redo it, and there's a lot of process to it, right? And I think the idea that that you can just imagine it and paint, it's just a thing I think would be cool. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think getting a basic, and this is where I've never really talked about this thing in this way before, what I'm gonna go here in a second. I have talked about, like, when I paint environments, I have a lot of like models. You could think of like basic models or structures of environments that I kind of know how to paint. I guess in some ways those are the things that I imagine. So it'd be like if someone said, "Can you paint can you imagine a cube and paint it?" Well, yeah, I can imagine a cube, right, and paint a cube in perspective or whatever, right? But this is not like a well-designed painting. But like, there are some things I have in my head. I can kind of imagine the dark scene that goes from dark to light, right? Where you have a light background and it gets progressively darker, right? And you have overlapping shapes, right? Each step of the way it gets further and further back, right? I have things like this in my head where this is not hard for me to imagine because I've painted a lot, right? And I can build on from this, right? So I could add, stuff in the foreground. I could add stuff in the midground. I could add stuff in the background, right? Maybe there's a hill. Maybe there's another hill back here, right? Like, I can make a little environment with very simple lines because so sometimes when I'm imagining something, I might imagine one of my many, let's say 10 different starting points. But I don't really imagine the thing fleshed out. I just use it as a starting template to establish depth, right? If I'm going to paint something from a different perspective, say looking downward or something, that's going to be very different than if I start painting something that's looking upward, right? So I might sometimes, kind of quickly establish the perspective that's sort of in my head, and then from there I sort of design on that template. I think that's probably about as close as I go. And obviously some people are going to be much better at it than I am because I'm not that great at it. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think it's a cool thing to be able to do. I just think once you can actually do it, it's not all it's cracked up to be. It's one of those things where it's like it almost seems like magic. No baddie. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, No baddie. How are you? We were just talking about getting good in art and other things in life, like driving. And then your name somehow I feel like it relates to that somehow. Something about not being a baddie. I don't know. Anyway, I maybe not. But how are no baddies allowed? Yeah, except this no baddie. Anyway, how are you? Hope you're doing well. What were you streaming? I'm good. Wow, I need to get better at a lot of things. Yeah, we were just talking about like building skills in various ways, and yeah, it's funny. Very fitting name. How was your stream? What were you working on, or what were you doing? It says you are a Twitch streamer from something something and streaming ASMR. Oh, okay. I don't know anything. Okay, you're gonna have to forgive my ignorance. I don't know anything about ASMR streams. Do you have themes for your ASMR streams? Like with what your is that a thing? Like, is it themed? Or like, what is there a subject that you focus on in each stream? How do you approach an ASMR stream? Asking for a friend. If I were to ever do this, if someone like me hypothetically were to ever do an ASMR stream, which I don't think I probably ever will, but if I were, like, do you pick a topic or like what do you do? Is it just like a just chatting stream, but with ASMR? Is that a weird question? Anyway, wait, Esto Talingen. Joe got rid of his clickety clacks ASMR, which made us all very sad. I see. I stream games, ASMR, and will start streaming art. I have no themes. I give affirmations and mental health. Okay, interesting. I mean, that's kind of a theme, right? But that's like a stream theme. Esto is fine. Yeah, Esto will work. Yeah, so I do, for those coming in, my name is Joe. Hello. And I do a lot of environment painting. Today I'm coming up with a bunch of thumbnails, and then we're going to pick one and work on it. Someone issued the challenge of painting a rainbow, and then I went on a rant about how I think rainbows always look kind of cheesy, and then I started painting. I'm like, you know what, this kind of looks cool. So we might just stick to a bunch of rainbows today, and it's fitting for Pride Month. So yeah, this is where we're at. Uh, you're still a beginner. She's amazing at it. No, everybody's a beginner at everything at some point. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it matters. That's cool though. That's awesome. Do you have anything you'd like to share? Oh, you said you'll start streaming art. I see. Okay, so maybe you haven't started streaming art, but you should totally do it. Art streams are great. The art community on Twitch is amazing. There's a ton of overlap in the communities. I feel like so I've never streamed games other than my very first stream, which was purely to test my stream quality when I push it to the limits of visuals, because obviously art does not test your graphics card or anything because it's extremely simple. But yeah, so I did stream games once on Twitch. I think I've also streamed a game of chess. That doesn't really count. Um, I'm at level beginner in life. I will study art and 3D modeling in France soon. Sweet. Oh, nice. That's cool. Beginners make the best ASMR, I think. Hello, Joe. I am Water. How are you doing today? Hey, Water. I am doing well. Nice to meet you. Okay. Yeah, so let's do another rainbowy painting. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with these rainbow things, but let's just slap in some rainbow colors. And we'll go reds to oranges. Let's see if I can remember the rainbow order. Red, orange, yellows. Roy G green. B is blue for Biv. And then I guess it's also blue. Now I have too many colors of blue. Whatever, that'll work. Love your artwork. Always super talented. Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for bringing your community over. I really appreciate it. Your brush for that first rainbow looks fantastic. Uh, Brush for that first rainbow. Oh, this one? Oh yeah, this is just me making a rainbow just like this, and then I went in and I just started blurring it. I just started going like this, just messing it around, picking colors here and there. So it's all the same brush. And the reason I did that is because I'm not, so even if I make an environment, oh, purple at the bottom. You mean like, yeah, down here. Sorry, I keep forgetting purple. Uh, I love a friendly community. We have to have each other's backs. Yeah, I think everybody. I haven't really come into any bad. Well, maybe not. I was gonna say negative art streamers. I guess there's probably a few, but I don't know. I feel like on the whole, art community is super wholesome. Like so much. Maybe I'm biased because I don't really. I'm not in a lot of other communities. I mean, I do engage in some other gaming communities occasionally, mostly as a spectator. But I will say, and this is my totally biased opinion, but I think Twitch art has the most like wholesome and kind and supportive community on the site. Maybe there might be maybe in the like speedrunning community, people are pretty crazy supportive there too because they're always like sharing all of the info that they find. And anytime they find a new tech or do something, they're always trying to build each other up and they're very much like setting community. So I think that's probably another one that's pretty wholesome. Uh but honestly, that community is probably smaller than the art community even. So for a community the size of art, which is still not huge, but it's pretty wholesome. I'm sure there's other wholesome communities out there, but yeah, Twitch art is great. Thank you guys for being great. But yeah, so as I was saying with the the rainbow stuff, I don't think like I don't have a goal in mind for this so much, so I'm actually may end up erasing this rainbow and painting directly over it. So I'm not worried, like I'm okay with having to repaint it, but I'm just kind of dropping it in so that I can pick up the colors, move them around, and work with what I have. So even this, like if I have to repaint the rainbow, I will. I just wanted to plop it in there so that I can start using those colors. So that's kind of my approach to painting. I'm not like hard set on, I put the rainbow in, it cannot change. Like, it's totally going to change. I feel like the 2D community is kinder than the 3D one. Is it? Maybe. I don't know much about the 3D community. I do feel the 3D community is typically, I feel like from the little I know, they seem to be more goal focused or like end goal. So like I'm trying to, just get a job in the video game industry or something. So it feels a little bit more um serious, I guess, where I think that there's a lot of art community where, you do have a lot of people who are quite serious about art, but you also have this recognition that a lot of people are just sort of on the journey of loving to make art and having fun with it, and it's not always a super serious, I have to get a job right now sort of thing. And that's been my experience with the 3D community where it's a little bit more serious, but even then I think everybody's pretty wholesome. I haven't really had any. Yeah, it's a bit more business that focused, it feels like, but I don't know. I've only had positive experiences with the 3D community as well, so but not much. I mean, there was a stream I was in a while back. It was a 3D, somebody learning 3D, and they had someone just hanging out there who seemed to be really good at 3D, and they were just kind of helping them along. The community was joining in and trying to give tips and tricks and sort of just it was like just like a community of people all sort of working together to help everyone learn how to use 3D. I don't know. I thought it was super cool. Ooh, maybe the rainbow is like not a rainbow at all. Maybe it's just rainbow colored. 3D art is hard with a lot to it. Yeah, it is. It totally is. 3D is super hard. From my limited experience with 3D. I played around with ZBrush a bit, or ZBrush if you're not American, probably. Uh, but yeah, I played around with that a bit. Topology, rigging, texturing, animation, rendering. Yeah, there's a lot to it. I also play around in Blender a little bit, but mostly for video editing. I haven't done a lot in it. Until your Maya crashes and it didn't save. Yeah, well, I was never rich enough for Maya. So that's... yeah, true. I think 3D programs have a tendency to, or have a reputation of being more buggy, don't they? Because there's Blender is really fun. Blender is a nightmare to me. It's just so much stuff. Okay, this looks grim. This looks like some weird desolate thing, and I don't know why I made the rainbow look like it's breaking apart. This is like going south fast. Okay, hold on. Let's make it snowy. That's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna go snowy environment here. We're gonna go snowy. Bright, snowy, rainbow. The rainbow became emo after break. Yeah, I made it a little bit emo, didn't I? This. I'm kind of just playing around with colors, hoping something will pop into my imagination. I kind of like... Ooh, I like this grassy area, too. That could be nice. So maybe we put, like, a foreground... Maybe this also has the colors of the rainbow in it. Something like that. Well, gotta go to celebrate a birthday, but have fun, everyone, with perfect artwork, and stay safe. Oh, thank you so much for the kind wishes, and have a good birthday, or have a fun party. Thank you so much for the raid and bringing your community over. I really appreciate it. Very, very thankful. Yeah, see ya. Take care. Okay, so I'm thinking of, like, yeah, some snow tracks, some little foliage poking through. We have maybe some life poking up. We want this. I want this to be a much more cheery scene. Again, I don't know why I have the rainbow the way it is. It's like in a very strange position over the hill, but whatever. Something like that works. Let's go. That. Hey there. Hey, Majar, how are you? This is some very rainbowy environment. But it's not, it doesn't look like an actual rainbow anymore. I'm gonna have to make an actual rainbow in it here in a moment, though. Because I think I've lost the rainbow look. Maybe we put something in the back there. Okay, let's slap in the color dodge, or not the color dodge, the overlay. Slapping in the overlay. I want to make like a... So the reason I chose to do overlay right here, or I'm thinking about it, is because I want like a vignette. I want a darker foreground that leads into a lighter background. Also, maybe even darker background. I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Ah, Nush Arts, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. thank you for using your Amazon Prime. Your free, your one and only Prime sub on my channel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Very generous of you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I kind of like that, but now let's bring in the... Trying to make these a little bit more... something. I'm trying to make it more something. Not sure what something is going to look like. But I do feel like there's something here. I mean, this is sort of a mess right now, and I realize that. And I'm sort of okay with it being a mess. But I'm also not sure how to make it not a mess. Ooh, I have an idea. I have an idea. Do you know those snowflakes that listen to heavy metal? In comparison to classical what? Do you know those snowflakes that listened to heavy metal in comparison to classical? I don't, and when you say snowflake, I can't help but think you're referring to a group of people. I do not know what you mean. Whom? Yeah, whomst is my question. Who are you talking about? Or what? Are you actually talking about snowflakes? Like real snow? Or are you talking about people? Are you calling certain people snow? I don't know what you're going at. What you're getting at, Kath. Whomst. Yeah, that is a good question. I think that question perfectly encapsulated my question. Hey, Sunmazu, hello. No, actual snowflakes. Okay. Okay. I didn't think you were calling people snowflakes. That didn't seem like you. But okay, no, actual snowflakes. What are we talking? Wait, snowflakes listening to... No, I don't know. I don't know this. Is this some like... This sounds like some science experiment where they make snowflakes form under different sound waves. Is that what you're talking about? Sounds like it could be what you're talking about. But I'm not familiar with it, no. Red. Orange. Yellow. Green. Blue. I'm going to skip green. Blue. Purple. But you said snowflakes listened. Yeah, I don't know what Kath is talking about. I don't think she was calling anyone a snowflake. I think Kath was talking about actual snowflakes and yeah, I don't know. I mean, she said that, so I'm sure that's what she's talking about. Okay, and there's gonna be some glowiness down here as well in these areas. I think the way that I can make this look okay is if I put a lot of glowy stuff. So this one's going to be predominantly purple. I think I saw a video once where they exposed snowflakes to something else, to different music and types, and they had different shape after that. Yeah, I could see that. Because, I mean, yeah, I could see that. Anyway, my point was, your rainbow kind of looked like it listened to heavy metal once. You're saying it's a messy snow... What you're saying is my rainbow is messy, and it's disorderly? Is that what you're getting at? It looked like it listened to heavy metal music? I don't know if people who listen to heavy metal music should be offended right now, or if rainbows should be offended, or what's the takeaway here? I feel like It just had a specific shape. Okay. I feel like there's something here. I that reminded me of that. Okay. Interesting. Because I mean, my rainbow is totally messy though. I feel like you're Kathy, you like metal. Oh, do you? I never got into metal. BFG Division starts playing. Number 6 is looking mighty fine. Heckin' love your works. Aw, thank you, Cosmonaut. Yeah, so yeah, I'm trying to do some rainbows here because you know, why not? I would be lying if I said it's because of Pride Month. I only thought it was like I didn't I yeah, that wasn't my intention. Um and when I say wasn't my intention, it's an unintended good intention, I guess. But yeah, it was. I didn't even think about that. Someone just recommended painting rainbows, and I thought that sounds hard, but let's try it. And you know what? It kind of all works. It all fits together. So yeah, Pride Month paintings. We're just gonna go with it. Might as well. I recently saw one IRL for the first. Wait, you only recently saw a rainbow for the first time. That is wild. Also, that is cool that you saw a rainbow. You, yeah, dang. That's cool though. My friend that I rode the bus to school with was in charge of the music for the drive. It was always metal at 7 a.m. Dang. Yeah, metal for me never quite. I went through phases with music, and I never had a metal phase. I was close to it. There was a while where there was like as a kid. God, I'm gonna start sounding super old again. As a maybe not as a kid, like my brother and sister would listen to some stuff like Slipknot and Korn and stuff. And I think for a while, I don't even know if you call that metal. I don't know what you call that. But for a while, I was getting into some of that a little bit, but not really. Like there was a few songs that I enjoyed. I don't even know. Do you even call that metal? I don't even know. Like that's like lame metal. I don't know what you. But anyway, I kind of enjoyed that stuff for a while, but I never really had a strong phase where I enjoyed metal. It was, I feel like I went through a bunch of different music genres, and metal was always kind of my least favorite. Like, I even had a country phase where I actually liked country music. Did I tell you guys that? Like, full on cowboy music. I was a fan. Like I actually liked it. Like I think I even asked my parents for Christmas once to buy me. This was like I was little, but like to buy me like cassettes, like back when cassettes were a thing for like country music. Certain country slaps, dude. Make us a country playlist. Yeah, but I like the really country, like George Strait. Like I loved George Strait back in the day. Now I'm not sure what I saw in that music, but yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not making you a country playlist. But anyway, yeah, I like country music. There's lesbian country, which is the best. It's like my husband was abusive, so I killed him and went to my girlfriend. I mean, that's just like a regular country song, except kind of murdery. I don't know. I don't feel like most country songs are that murdery. That's pretty intense. Are you sure that was country music? That's intense, Kath. Kath went down the dark to the dark side there with that comment. Jolene. Oh yeah, Dolly Parton. I never really was. I never growing up anyway. I never was really a Dolly Parton fan. She seems cool though. I know Steph really likes Dolly Parton. Oh, did I tell you? So this is kind of embarrassing. I don't know if I should tell this. This is sort of a personal thing. Gosh, I don't know if is this too personal to tell? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. My grandma, I love her, and grandma, if you're listening, you're awesome. I'll probably be calling you later today after stream also. So anyway, so my grandma is great. She is very old. It's not drama. It's adorable old person stuff. So my grandma is super sweet, and she really likes Dolly Parton. And one day, fairly recently, she, well, first she actually tried to call me, I think, but she actually called my sister. And so she left a voicemail or a text on my sister's phone asking me to look up Dolly Parton's address. What? First of all, there's so many things wrong with this. Like, what? That was all. Basically, all the message said was, "Hi, could you look up Dolly Parton's address?" And I'm like, "What in the world, Grandma?" And I'm like, so I had to get to the bottom of it. So I obviously called my grandma. I'm like, "Grandma, first of all, you tried to call me, but you called your sister or my sister, and so like you got a little confused there." But then I'm like, why do you want Dolly Parton's address? She's like, well, she kind of jokingly like, well, it's none of your business. But I guess she wanted to, again, it's really weird, but also kind of adorable if you knew my grandma. No, she wasn't stalking. She wanted to, like, so I gave her, like, the fan mail address, because most celebrities have fan mail addresses. Um, yeah, so I technically I did do it. I did Google the address, but there was actually two, and I'm like, I'm just gonna give you the fan mail one, but I didn't really tell her it was that. I guess there was something that she wanted to know about, like some show or something she was in, and she wanted to ask her. I'm like, Grandma, I can just look up the answer on the internet for you. Like, you don't need to mail Dolly Parton to figure this out. Like, I can just look up the name of the movie that you were, I think it was like the name of a movie or something she was in. I'm like, why don't I just give you the answer? And she's like, oh no, it's okay. I still want to send her something. I'm like, okay, Grandma. Uh, so I did give her Dolly Parton's fan mail address, and also I gave her the name of the movie that Dolly Parton was in like the 90s or something. No, it was a Christmas album she was interested in. Um, but yeah, it was adorable and also mildly concerning that like my grandma thought the best way to find out this information was to ask Dolly Parton. Like is this a normal thing for her? Like, do you just email random celebrities and stuff, like asking them questions about stuff you could Google, like parents do with the toothpick? I don't know. It was both. Oh crap! Did I just crash? No. It was both precious and hilarious. And if my grandma ever hears me tell this story, I love my grandma, but this was just too funny. I had to share it. My grandma is awesome, and yeah, she keeps on canceling on me. I keep trying to go over there and visit her, but it's hard because there's some days she doesn't feel like doing stuff, and I think for whatever reason, anyway. So I might end up visiting her today. I don't know. We'll see. I've been making a habit of calling her every week though on Mondays, but yeah, she's precious. Anyway, there's the grandma stories there. But yeah, just yeah, if you ever were curious though, you don't need to send people a physical letter in the mail to ask them a question. You can just Google it. But I also understand that people like to ask questions, so yeah. Also, this feels like this needs to be brighter. Some green in here, red in here, some yellow in here. Can you give me your I don't have a fan mail address. Perhaps you have my real address. You just want I want to ask you something. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Yeah. I see. Physical letters are great. They are, and you know what? This actually reminds me, and as much fun and poking at this situation, I had a a teacher in middle school. He was honestly the best teacher that I ever had, I think. Or best teacher in the sense that he was the most fun. I think I probably learned a lot in his classes too, but he just made learning fun, and you could tell, and I feel like he had really good habits around doing things that might seem a little weird, but just sort of like embracing your inner weirdo kind of. And I feel like he was one of the. He also played Magic the Gathering, so that's cool. But he was a great teacher. I guess I could probably now. I don't. Is it weird to say a teacher's name on stream? I don't know. Anyway, uh, he was great, but I remember in middle school he had like he would I forgot what he would do. I don't remember the content of the letters, but basically he would mail celebrities. And most of the time he would start like, he would explain that he's a teacher, and I forgot what the content was. Like I forgot if he would ask them questions or if he would what he would do, but like half of the time he would actually get like handwritten letters back from them. Now it was, maybe it wasn't from them. It might have been from like the people who take fan mail or whatever. But I think sometimes it actually was from the actual people. Um, because it kind of he kind of made it sound, and from the time it's like it wasn't a really popular thing, right? Like celebrities have always been. Was the letter in cursive? I don't know. I don't know if he wrote in cursive. But it kind of gave me the impression that like not a lot of people do this, and if you actually do take the time to do it, they might actually reply back. Again, I don't know if it was probably not really the celebrities who were replying back, but I guess a lot just didn't reply back, and then sometimes they would. And I guess I thought it's kind of cool. Like, there's something about it that like he was like kind of collecting all these different auto signatures and letters from different celebrities and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I think it was, it's a pretty harmless uh sort of hobby, I guess, and it seems fun. But yeah, that was something. Yeah, sometimes you got to take the chance and reach out to people. Yeah, exactly. I think that was the kind of the message, right? And I think yeah, and it seemed kind of sweet, honestly. It didn't seem like crazy or stalkery or anything. Um, and I kind of appreciate it. I think it's sort of yeah, it's kind of charming in some ways. I think there's this assumption that like, oh, celebrities are not like other people, and I think maybe part of the point he was making was almost like humanizing them, like reminding that people that you look up to are literally just people, and they're not like these, not everything is this crazy corporate like cold, it's not like there's some thing that's untouchable and you can't connect with them or relate to them. It was sort of just like you took a chance and it was a real person. Like when I mailed that doctor in Vienna, I didn't expect a response, but he did. Yeah, exactly. I would imagine it's like that. And then you meet him, and it's like, oh wow, he's just like a normal dude, right? And he has knowledge or expertise in one area, and he's been successful. Um, you have to mail more important people, Kathy. See what happens. Dear Obama. I mean, do it. Like I bet. How many letters do you think Obama gets? Do you think a lot of people are really sending him letters? I bet you not that many. I bet you some people, especially popular people, get more hate mail than they do fan mail. Like, because fans are like, they would respect your boundaries, maybe not. Hopefully they would. Whereas I feel like the people who don't like you won't respect your boundaries. How rad would it be to have Obama as a pen pal? I don't know, but you should do it. Like what's the harm in trying? I bet you Obama doesn't get many pen pals outside the US. You should do it. Be like, "Hey Obama, will you be my pen pal?" And then do the this thing. You should do the. Hold on, let me show you. Uh You'll do the... And you should be like, and like, mark, you know, like, you should be like, do the, you know, they'll put the mark in the box, and you should just ask him that, be like, Obama, will you be my pen pal? And then, and see if they'll send it back. That would be amazing. Uh, I'm the German Kathy, and I love lesbian country music, says Taps. But no, it would be pretty funny, though, to just write people. I don't know. As long as you're not weird about it, I feel like it could be fun. Anyway, okay, one more thumbnail, and we're gonna try to do something. Ooh, I know. I have an idea for this one. I have an idea for this one. We're gonna do another rainbow one. So red, I'm gonna go hard with the colors here. Red, orange, yellow. I gotta like say it out every time because I never know the order. Green, blue. Purple. Okay. So there's that. So what I'm gonna do is just block in shapes and colors. Maybe we'll put, let's see, this one has green in it. This one has purple. This one could have maybe reds. Maybe this one will be red. Lots of red and yellows and oranges. Might look a little muddy, but maybe not. Something like that. So yeah, I'm trying to do some thumbnails with like rainbows and stuff. It's just kind of a challenge. It seems like a fun idea. And yeah, it seems fitting. Seems fitting. That. But yeah, I don't know. It does. I know I kind of already asked this, but I'm curious. Does anybody ever feel like rainbows also look cheesy? I don't know if it's a. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be asking that question a bunch, but I don't know. I feel like I can't be alone here, or I know I'm not because we already had someone say that, but I don't know. It's always kind of, you love seeing rainbows. I do too. I like rainbows, but there is something. Again, I think it's the color palette. I think it's so clashing. Like it has so, because it has all the colors, you know? It's like it just is this it feels unnaturally vibrant and it stands out. Rainbow colors are meh. Yeah, I kind of feel like they don't, again, I don't think it's the colors themselves. What I think it is the context in which they're normally shown. They the like they're too clashing, and I think from it I think they don't typically blend into the image well enough, and it's sort of like uh bad color theory. I feel like when you see a rainbow in an artificial image in like a painting or something, or even in a photograph, I feel like it's always showcasing bad color theory. And like you have lots of these vibrant colors. They're something like about it. So make it more transparent. Oh no, I will. I will. I actually, that was my, so this is a one where I did a rainbow, right? And I have the yellow here, the orange, the red. It's super subtle, but you can see it. Oh, that's green. Blue. So here's the rainbow. But again, it's super subtle, right? And I think that this is like the closest I would get. Like there's more red in in these clouds than there are in the rainbow, which is funny. Like the red of the rainbow is actually more purple, and then the red the pink up here is actually more red. So even though this looks red, the actual colors are less red. And I think that is a way to do it okay. I don't know if I got the composition right in that painting. Oops. Whereas like this image is just like bam in your face, way too much color, you know? It's just like a yeah, like a slap in the face. I think rainbows work best when used as lighting. That's fair. Yeah, that's probably a good way to think about it. That's kind of what I'm gonna try to do here, is like use this as to light the scene and make this feel very uh glowy and lots of vibrant colors. That's kind of what I want to do here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it seems like it'll be a fun way to do it. The slap in the face one looks cool. It's like crashing into the ground. Oh, this one? Yeah, it's kind of cool. I also kind of want to go with plant life. I feel like plant life is just a cool way to do it, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I know. Maybe there's like a lake or something here. And then down here we actually get stuff like that, maybe. So we have those little puddles of light and dark. Maybe we get some colors in here. Something like that could work. Maybe there's other spots back here where this is. Maybe we get other colors back here like that. Yeah, that's not bad. We can get some nice colors in here. Just really trying to put lines that guide our eye in here. Maybe this will be, again, this is like the puddle, kinda. So maybe there's like a lake or a river, something here. So this is a rainbowy waterfall. So the whole waterfall is rainbowy. Or I guess I could even make it bright white. Nah. Maybe the white will be the the cloud of stuff down here. That could work. Because, you know, all the light together should mix into white, and that would make sense that the and then there could be all sorts of this stuff. Okay. So that's not bad. I think that's a good spot to call it for thumbnails, and then we're gonna switch over to voting, and then I'll work on one of these till the end of stream and get as far as I can. So yeah. Also, I'm slouching like a potato. Hold on. Let me sit upright. Um, actually, before I do that, let's overlay this one with a blue. And a yellow and a red. There. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. Let's, I'm gonna delete number 2, I think. It's too similar to the other one. The vote is rigged, is it? How's it rigged? How's it rigged? Do I make a poll? Yeah, do you want to make a poll with 6 options? I would love that if you made a poll with 6 options. And while that's happening, I'm going to slap this one with color dodge too. Rig it up? Yeah, I am rigging it up. Look, I'm rigging it up by making this one also more interesting. Done and rigged. Okay. It's already done? That was quick. Did you ask if you should make a poll after you had made the poll? I don't believe that you made it after you asked. That was too quick. I think you cheated. You were like, should I make the poll? And you already had it. Totally. Okay. Yeah, 1 second. I'll let you know when you can drop it. I'll let you know. I'm just that speedy. Okay. Yeah, you were too fast. You spoiled it. It's like when a magic trick is too simple, and so you know that it's just editing or something, because it's like it wasn't complicated enough. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, yes, let me flip that on. There we go. All right, so we have some. All right, there you go. You can drop it. All right, there's a straw poll. It is right there. You should vote. Vote for, choose as many as you like. So for example, if you like number, why is it giving me ads? If you like all the rainbow ones, you could pick 2, 3, and 6, for example. If you like number 4, you could pick 4. Anyway, you know how polls work. Vote for however many you want. Ah, you made it back in time for this straw poll. Yes, you did, Rona. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Let's see. Let me pin it to the top. Let me go to Twitch, and then hopefully I don't crash. I might crash here because I'm doing a lot of stuff. Pin for 7 minutes. There we go. All right. The straw poll is pinned. If you would like to vote and you're new here and don't know what's going on, basically this is how it works. You vote in the straw poll, and then that's it. And then I take the winning vote, and I paint on it until the end of stream. And hopefully I turn it into a painting that doesn't suck. Yeah. This poll is rigged. How so? What's the results look like? Number 3 is winning. Okay. How is it rigged? How is it rigged? Do you want me to rig it more? Yeah, and then maybe it's rigged and the winner is already Jay Stiller. I mean, let's be real. The thumbnail that I painted will be the winner, right? Because I painted all of them. So, which number do you want? Rona, are you trying to rig? No rigging. No rigging the vote. Dang, Rona's like admitting to rigging. Wait, number 3's already gonna win. Taps. Number 3's already winning. You don't need to rig it more. It's already rigged. All right, it's not rigged. There is no rigging of the vote. This is perfectly a fair democratic voting system. perfectly fair. Also, I do post all of these in Discord. I have a thumbnail archive channel. I try to post all of them there, so you can, if you want to see all the previous thumbnails as well as the paintings that resulted in them. This is a good, yeah. You can always join the Discord. !Discord if you need the link. But oh my, I cannot seem to be able to vote. Whomever can help me vote 3. Oh my. Oh no, someone has to vote for Taps. Anyone? My poor hands, they can't vote. Taps very convincing. Oh my. Uh, it's very safe to say that my vote today was not useful. I couldn't choose, so I voted for everything. Skittle. Yeah, that's not very useful. I want one, but I'll add. No, Taps has already voted. Stop. Taps is tricking you. I know you know that, but yeah. Oh no, am I lagging? I think I'm lagging. I'm dropping some frames, but it looks like number 3 is winning. If my internet goes out, I will be back, by the way. Well, I lied. I voted for everything apart from 4. Okay. Dang, really? No 4. I'm surprised 4 didn't get more votes. I mean, it's pretty simple, I guess. I guess it's very simple. What? Oh, what is this? Oh. Wow. Skittle, do you hate 4 that much? I mean, okay, 4's, well, it was between 4 and 5 for me, but I like the colors and light shaft effect on 5 more. 5 was like last minute color dodge. 4 is nice with the lighting and color, but there is no rainbow. That's fair. That's a very astute observation, Rona. No rainbow in number 4. Or number 1. To be fair, I could add a rainbow in number 1. Or number 4. I actually think, you know what? I know the conditions probably aren't right in hell. What? That is not my email address. What are you doing? What? That is not my email, by the way. I don't know who that, I definitely have numbers on, anyway. That is, what are you doing? Anyway, what is, Taps, what are you doing? If you had added some last minute color dodge to 4, then you vote again 4. I have a weakness for color dodge. Yeah. I mean, 4 totally has color dodge in it. Anyway, I'm just gonna pretend that Taps didn't just randomly post an email address. It's at jstiller@hotmail.com, which is almost close to one of my emails, but not. But also, that's like not even the email that I give people. What? I'm so confused. Why did you post an email? What? Taps. You know you can, I know I can delete it. It's not even mine. If someone emails that, it's literally nothing. And plus, I'm so confused. Anyway, I'm just confused. I just want an explanation. Anyway, it's not important. Anyway, we are voting. If you want to join in and vote, you have 1 minute to do so. It is linked at the top of the straw poll. And you should vote. Meanwhile, Taps is trying to be a hacker. I was told to get chocolate there. All I can think of is digital chocolate via email. Yeah, that's sketchy. Yep, just shove it through the CPU. Gosh, remember those advertisements you wouldn't download a car? I wish I could download chocolate. Wouldn't that be great? They're already giving us cookies? True. Are we talking about being Obama's pen pal? Oh, and downloading chocolate. But yeah, we were talking about being Obama's pen pal earlier. Kath is like BFFs with Obama. That's the word on the street. Okay. Voting is done. We are. Let's see. Number 3 has won. All right, as expected, all as planned. Totally not rigged. All right, so now I'm gonna save this as a new Clip Studio file. 406. Rigged. No, not rigged. I'm just kidding. I would definitely download a card, just need a big 3D printer. Yeah. Yeah, three was a good one. I think 3 is gonna be actually looking okay. I mean, I know I was hating on rainbows earlier, but you know what? I think this one's all right. It's not too bad. I think we can turn it into something. I think the idea of going kind of foresty is gonna work out well with lots of little lightings and like using green. This is like in Magic the Gathering. If you want to use all the colors, it's oftentimes smart to use green as a base because green has the most access to the other colors, like in terms of mana ramping and stuff. I don't know if that made any sense to anyone who doesn't play Magic, but basically the it also relates to art in that if you want to have all of the colors, you can still lean towards one predominant color. And in this painting, it's going to be like green and blue, and then the other colors are going to be sort of accent colors. So the main colors are green and blue. Instead of going like equal parts, all the colors, you know? So yeah, that's a thing. All right, so first step, I'm gonna sketch out to the edge of the canvas a little bit, maybe. I'm also going to honestly just start painting. I do need a foreground, midground, background. I kind of have some lines here that could be sort of those things, and I think I will. I might limit this one though and push it closer to us, so that so instead of having 3 equal distant lines, I'm now having lines that look like they're in perspective. Right? So you have like they get smaller as they go back. That's a good way to do it, in my opinion. Taps, there's a thing on Tumblr called Burbler. What is Burbler? Also, someday I will sign back into my Tumblr. If I ever I think I had an account. Someday I will try to use Tumblr. I don't know if I will actually. Does anybody use Tumblr for art? And if so, what's your experience with art on Tumblr? Lunatic, wait, Lunatictenia. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well today. And happy Monday. Also, I hope everyone's doing well today. How is everyone's Monday? What has everybody been up to? And has anyone done any art they'd like to share? And if you have, feel free to drop a link. Well, nobody. Well, I'm not saying did you get a lot of traction. I don't think that's a very valid question because social media is not like your success on social media doesn't really relate. Like I don't think that's a good question to ask individuals. I think maybe you could take a poll, like you could probably do a straw poll with like thousands of people and maybe get an idea on which social media is better for art. But I just mean like, are people active? Are there people posting? If you reply, do they reply back? Is it purely just like them dumping their stuff and advertising? Like what's the like the environment like? I'm not really talking about your personal success on Tumblr because again, I think this changes. It's extremely hard to grow on social media as an artist, no matter where you are, and you have to be active, and you have to know the platform, and you have to, kind of cater to the environment. But it's or you don't have to, but it can help. I have a friend that has Tumblr. Okay, so some people use it, at least one. It's cozy with a bunch of weirdos, but they're weird in a good way. Okay. Yeah, all I remember was that there was like that big change on Tumblr, and then a lot of people left or stopped using it, or they said they did, but I never actually used it in the first place, so I didn't actually know how it changed. It was always like when people are talking about how much Twitter has changed, and to me, it's like it hasn't changed at all. I haven't noticed anything other than people talking about how Twitter has changed. So, like, my experience with it hasn't actually changed despite people saying it's changed. So I always am curious how people's actual experiences are rather than like hearing about how it's changed for other people. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm trying to make this look like a jungle. So this spot is going to be the overgrown jungle. So I'm going to put some darker shadows in here. But I also, maybe I'll use the blue as the dark. So I'm going to use dark colors in here, but I'm going to use it. Ooh, a jungle with a rainbow. Yeah, kind of rainbowy jungle. I'm going to use the dark blue. This might be a bit much, so I might have to change it. But I'm going to try to use the dark blue as like a shadow color. This is terrible, actually. Let's back up. And then maybe some green. Maybe some green up here. Okay, we should be seeing the underside of this. So what I'm going to try and do is take these and describe the form. So this is going to be, yeah, again, the underside of these trees. So I'm just literally just painting the forms of this so that my brain can comprehend the direction of this trunk. Stuff like that. And then up here is going to be something like that. Let's see. Also, down here, I can describe the forms of these a little bit. I've been up, let's see. Ooh, I like, oh, thank you, Nisharts. I appreciate it. I've been up to more crochet shenanigans. In the art channel, I took a work in progress of your Kafka doll, and if anyone wants to praise me for my hard work, I love the way you said that. Let me go and praise you for your hard work. Good job on your hard work. No, I haven't seen it yet though. Oh, this is cool. Dang, that looks tedious. That's cool. Also, I recognize that playmat. That's a Sandara Swamp Dragon playmat. I know that art in the background. But yeah, that's cool. I don't that yeah, that looks hard. Crocheting. Yeah, amazing crocheting work. Yeah, it looks really good. Also, I don't know what a Kafka doll is, by the way. I have no idea what that is. You got it from Gen Con, you love it? Oh, cool. So wait, did you go to like that artist specific to their table? That's cool. Yes, I always Sandar has always been a big Kafka is from Honkai Star Rail. Okay. Yeah, Sandar has always been a big art one of I guess you could say an art favorite of mine. Particularly with like how she paints dragons and stuff. I feel like she has this sort of whimsical fantasy vibe, but also does like serious stuff too, and it sort of, yeah. Maybe my favorite section is the art section, so I do look at all the tables. Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, I'm sure you bought it from her if you bought it at Gen Con. I can't imagine someone else was selling like some of her most iconic art. Also, Joe, want to do me a favor? Depends on the favor. Oh, yeah, sure. Hold on. Yep, there we go. There we go. I'm sorry, Kath. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I got you. Yeah. It's already done. Yeah, no problem. For those who are confused, I had the slideshow turned off, and Kath likes to tell me to slide the show. Okay, so this can be some things down here. Nope, that's too... Okay, so what I want to do is I want to populate the scene with different shapes and forms that make it seem interesting. I guess we could go like this or something. That would not be bad, actually. Nah, maybe not. I'm trying to find a way to do something where... Nah, I don't think we need to do that. Maybe we'll put some stuff back here, though. Little plants. Okay, so this is purely an experiment. I mentioned a lot of times variety in painting, and I have a lot of dark against light right now, and I'm going to try and introduce some light against dark back here, where maybe the sun or the light rays are really shining on this. So I'm going to take some bright parts and basically just make these silhouettes as bright as I can. Not all of them. Some of them will be in like maybe in half and half or something. I just think it's a fun way to sort of add. Basically, you're adding highlights on stuff, but it's, again, don't know if it's gonna work well. But I think it can make things look nice. It gives me the feeling of yeah, just variety. I think the variety is nice. So, for example, I'm gonna put some variety over here. This is gonna be some things in light. And then we can have some more things in dark poking up here. So there's just enough repetition of light and dark. I don't know. I always think any sort of thing where there's variety, so variety in shapes, variety in just ways of doing things, brush strokes, and all the stuff, basically. I don't think you have to do it all in the same painting, but I think by having that variety and mixing it up, I think it can be more interesting, in my opinion. I find myself more and more thinking about that. Like when I see art that I really admire, like from a personal taste point of view, I oftentimes think of the sort of like how varied stuff is. Like there's a lot of different things that capture my interest. And rarely is it only one thing, I feel like. Okay, so now I'm trying to unify some of the shadow shapes. So I have some spots in here like this, where it's just kind of this mid value. And I want to either darken it or lighten it. I want to sort of mesh these shapes together. There's also this shape, which is kind of interesting. Which I think I can use the curvature of like this ground to imply some perspective. So for example, if I go like this, it sort of shows the curvature of that. So I think I can put the light right along this path and show that this path, if this is a linear path, it sort of, this is the line in perspective. Let's see, what else? I like the red here. It's a bit much, though. Technically, rainbows are just perfect gradients, right? I should probably... Let me find a reference. I have to look up a reference for a rainbow. This is, rainbow images. Oh, God. How do I find a real rainbow that isn't edited? I don't want an overly edited rainbow unless it actually just looks nice. Also, why are rainbows always darker on one side, on the outside, than the inside, or vice versa? How I feel like I need to look up rainbows, and I'm sure there's a question there. Let me literally Google that. Why are rainbows darker on the outside? Or maybe it's on... Oh, is that only on double rainbows? Oh. Called Alexander's Band. In a double rainbow, I don't know if this is true. In a double rainbow, raindrops... okay, I know that. Stop telling me how... Okay. The dark band occurs due to the deviation angles of the primary and secondary rainbows. Both bows exist due to an optical effect called the angle of minimum deviation. Huh. Okay, so it's only on a double rainbow? I didn't know that. I'm learning about rainbows. Okay, so I need to open up my reference file. Open up PureRef. Drop in some rainbows in here. Here is my... Here, this is what I'm seeing. I'm just finding some images of rainbows. Pretty simple stuff. Extremely plain rainbow. But I do like that there's these little colors down here, right? And I think this is kind of the thing that I'm looking for, is where there's actually the lighting effect of the rainbow actually is affecting the scene. So yeah, that's kind of... I'm just looking for rainbow images. Most of them are going to be pretty simple and uninteresting, to be honest. Maybe that one. Let's see. What about rainbow waterfall? Okay, please show me real rainbows and not fake ones. Thank you very much. Okay, that one looks real. That's cool. See, this image, not gonna lie, I feel like it would be cooler if it didn't have the rainbow. This place looks amazing, but the rainbow, like, this to me is... I don't know. The rainbow's okay. But it is kind of cool. I don't know. Gosh, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, this one's pretty cool. It might even be the same location. Yeah, it is. That's pretty neat. Your opinion is wrong. Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, I mean, people. You know what? People have differences of opinions. It's okay. My opinion is wrong. I mean, no, but also you're wrong. So there. How do you like that rebuttal? No, you is pretty much my response. So yeah, that's this is my references. Yeah, you can still have different opinions. No way. I know, right? For real. Get out of here. This is a one opinion zone in this chat. All must have how about them apples. I didn't say how about them apples. I did not say those words exactly. Uh Okay. But yeah, this is a bit much, this rainbow right here. But I think there's a way. Again, this is just like me doing my initial color blocking. And I think it'll work. So let me duplicate this. I'm going to use a blur brush. Because rainbows are, even though they do have distinct bands, they are pretty much a smooth gradient. Okay, I'm still haven't decided if I want to if I want to redo this rainbow and make it and blend it into the environment more, which would also mean putting things back here. Slide the, oh, thanks. There we go. But yeah, so I don't actually know if I want to put things back here and sort of repaint the rainbow or not. Because I kind of feel like I should. But I also kind of like the painterly look of it. I don't know. I think this is one of my issues when I say that I think rainbow paintings, they tend not to look very good. It's because people like me paint them poorly. And it has nothing to do with the rainbows themselves. I think they're just hard to paint. That's my hunch. Okay, gotta visit my husband in Tears of the Kingdom. All right. Enjoy. Enjoy Zelda. Okay, so there's that. This should be very blurry. But I don't just want it blurry. I want it smudgy. I think smudgy is my vibe. Okay. There's that. I also think there can be some little bits of green and different colors in here. And oranges. Maybe there's even some little flowers that have different colors in here. Ooh, that would be nice. Flowers. Some flowies. There we go. Maybe some red ones back here. Maybe some red flowers over here too. Just little ones. I don't want to put anything that stands out too much because again, this isn't really about those flowers. There's more the overall impact. So I'm just thinking of these flowers as color blobs. Also, I think if you're new to environment painting, this is the way I think about environment painting. Is I don't think of things as the objects themselves. Like I'm gonna paint a flower, even though I might say verbally I'm gonna paint some flowers. It's more like these dots are representing flowers, right? Because it's more about the impact of the colors than what the shape of the thing is. It could just as well be I'm going to paint some tiny little, leaves, some red leaves there. Or I'm going to paint some jelly beans. Like it doesn't really matter what it is because the idea is that they're just blobs of color that are doing the blob of color thing. Right, so same thing with like trees, right? If you want a shape in the background, it's like, oh well, I think a silhouette needs to go right here, so I start painting that silhouette. Right? It's not really about what it is, it's more about placing an object right here, if I want one. Anyway, that's how I think about it. So sometimes I will say things that are technically not how I think about it, which I guess is very confusing. Leaves there. Underside of that leaf. Here. I don't know, maybe they're too spiky or something. Thank you for the follow, Rob Shepard. How are you? Wait, I feel like I know your name. Do I know your name? Or do you just have a common name? Thank you for the follow, Rob Shep. Maybe I've seen you on Twitch somewhere. Or somewhere. So yeah. Chat encouraged me to do a rainbow painting today, and so I'm challenging myself with that. Because I've always had the opinion that I think rainbow paintings don't typically look good. And so I'm trying to make this look not terrible, but also I'm not convinced yet. So we will see. Maybe you've seen me too. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm Rob Shep Art everywhere. Okay. Yeah, it's possible. I recognize your name from somewhere. Maybe Instagram or Twitter or who knows? Who knows? Anyway, thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're well. Looks wonderful so far. Thanks. Yeah, figured it seemed appropriate to do rainbowy paintings. And you know, I feel like rainbow environments aren't funny enough, even though rainbows, maybe it's just because I see, you know, there's a huge uh discrepancy in the amount of like there's way more character art than there is environment art, I feel like, just because lots of people like painting characters, which is awesome. Both because I like looking at characters and I like, you know, I don't know. It's great. It's not a bad thing. I'm just, you know, pointing out that there clearly some people prefer to paint characters. But anyway, so it's funny enough that even though rainbows are a naturally occurring thing in environments, I still feel like I see more rainbows in character art or rainbow themes in characters than in environments. So I don't know. It's kind of fun. I feel like it, yeah. Which I guess kind of goes for every theme in art, right? Like everything exists more in characters because more people paint characters. Probably more. I don't know. I'd be curious. Maybe not. Maybe there are like a lot of beginner. There's probably a lot of beginner oil painters who start with environments. Ooh, what if I go really bright back here? That might be a thing to do. To really contrast some of this. I don't think I want more brightness up here. I think that's gonna be. I mean, I could do that. Put some bright up there. Maybe some dark. Maybe darker down here. Nah. But maybe not bright. The bright's a bit much. Maybe we just stick to the brightness up here. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. Also, why can we not see jungle stuff over here? That's the real question. There should totally be more stuff over here. Maybe like that. So we'll bring in the shape down here. And it will ever so slightly come back through here. Something like that could work. Basically, I'm just trying to guide the eye a little bit back into the painting. Because I do feel like there was a bit of a weird shape thing here that just, I don't know. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we can have a big empty void up there. So do you focus on environments, or is that just today's theme? Yeah, mostly I do environments. Yeah, almost exclusively on stream. Typically, I do a lot of things, like we start out with a bunch of thumbnails on the stream. We kind of do idea generation of some sort. Sometimes I just start with random colors, or I have a theme in mind, and then I take one of those and then I pick it. So for example, yes, last stream we went with a underwatery thing, and then I didn't really have any theme, and so I just started painting something underwatery. Did this little glowy design of underwater stuff. So that was last stream's painting. Sometimes they turn out okay, sometimes they don't, because they're typically just one stream paintings where we start out with no idea at all. Sometimes people will offer suggestions, like today's was a viewer suggestion. Hope that was an old painting that I was... Yeah. So yeah, sometimes it's viewer suggestions, sometimes it's just random themes. He likes to paint bears. Do I? I've painted a few bears. I don't feel like I particularly like to paint bears. But yeah, no, I definitely prefer environments. Most of all the things in the slideshow that are scrolling by in the bottom right corner of the screen. Oh, I just dropped my stylus. All the stuff down here are yeah, love to paint people. You can see from all of the people I've painted, love it. My favorite. So yeah, all those things are things I've painted in the past. Actually, I need to update that with more recent things. But yeah, this is kind of, I guess, a challenge day in some ways, because I am not a big fan of rainbow paintings typically, and I think they're hard to pull off and to make them look good. And so yeah, it's gonna be it is a bit of a challenge, but I think it's turning out okay. Also, I don't know about this bright saturated blue, but it's kind of fun. I think it's okay. Maybe I take like a bright green. Let's try that. I'm gonna play around with this goofy brush, this apple baked custard brush. Put some highlights back here. Maybe some green. Maybe that's too much for the highlight. But yeah, so I do a lot of environments. There's kind of my comfy thing, my comfy themed stuff. What about you? What kind of art do you do? Maybe I'll recognize your art if you want to share. I wonder if I can't bring in some sort of framing element. I don't know if I need to. Maybe these framing elements up here. I guess that works. Kind of trying to just put some little blobs back here that look like leaves and stuff. I do like this. I feel like this shape should be more solidly in shadow, though. Uh, I think I'm a big fan of like bits of light and dark, so maybe I can actually do this a little better. Um, but if I have like a shape back here that's in light, and then a shape back here that's in light, right? So these could be in light, for example. Let me just grab an airbrush to show. So these could be in light in theory. Maybe I'll do like a soft light or something. I wonder what that'll look like. Those could be in light, and then the inverse could be in shadow or something. I mean, obviously not this absurd, but you get the idea. It'd be some nice little patterns. That way it helps separate foreground, midground, background, that kind of thing. I think it could be nice. Can I post your Instagram link? Absolutely. I'm all about coloring black inked art. I try to be more traditional illustration versus modern comic book. Ooh, yeah, yeah. You can definitely post a link. You don't need a permit or anything. Anyone can share, by the way. If you do art and you'd like to share, please do. Anyone can share. I wouldn't be surprised if I already follow you. I'm gonna be like, oh, I recognize this. Oh, I follow you. I could see that. I could totally see that being a thing. Okay, let's take a look. Let me first save. Just in case I crash or something. I don't think I'll crash. Sometimes my internet will go out if I'm clicking on too many links. But I still do it because I like seeing people's art. It's worth the risk. Okay, let's take a look. Ooh, I like these. Okay, I did not follow you. I don't think I've seen your work before. Maybe your name just seemed familiar. Oh yeah, I like this. This is cool. Ooh, in a process, you start with your line work and then you do that whole thing. I like it. Nice. These are great. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Hey, I like the rainbow. Thanks. It's a bit much. It's a bit intense. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing, Rob Shep. And yeah, I don't share people's Instagrams and stuff on screen, by the way. I only if they raid me. The reason is just because I want to encourage anyone and everyone to share. And yeah, Buttsill is new. Good old Buttspot. The minute you arrive, Buttspot is here too. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, how are you doing, Basilisk? And yeah, as I was just mentioning, if anyone wants to share any art, please do. Love seeing what people are working on. Okay, I think this leaf is humongous. I think I need to stay grounded with my the scale of stuff. So I think I do want some flowers and stuff here. I feel like we need a nice flower right up here. I don't know what color yet though. Maybe I feel like probably green or blue. Probably green or blue. I don't know how a green flower would work. But I don't think I want to go red and stuff in the foreground too much. Or maybe red would work. I don't think it really matters to be honest, but I guess I could go yellow if I wanted like one focal flower. Sort of just like one main flower in the foreground. And I actually wanted to detail it or something. Something like that. And then all the rest could be a different, like a cool color. So I have one warm color of flower. That might be a way to do it. So we put little blue flowers here in the shadows because blue is a great shadow color. Dark already. Um, I don't paint per se, but I try to make my line art have a painterly feel to it. I'm still struggling with that. No, I think you absolutely do. I mean, look, yeah, obviously you may not be painting necessarily, but like you're still using values and like you're using the fundamentals in the same way, right? Like you still have like an overall structure with your shapes and your values and I mean it's basically painting, right? I mean it's the same stuff. It's just you're doing it in a different method. I mean I mean to be fair, that's like me saying I don't technically paint because I'm using digital, you know? It's like okay, but it's same sort of skills, you know? I don't know. I think if you're doing colored drawings, you're basically doing the same as painting. Like the same concepts apply, right? Like whether yeah, I don't know. That's how I view it. I don't try to get too hung up on the medium too much. Obviously, there are some things that uh, can only be done in certain mediums, but still, it's pretty much as far as image making goes, it all is kind of the same sort of fundamentals. Hey, Steph, yes, we rainbow today. Somebody recommended it. It seemed fitting for Pride Month, and also rainbows are hard, and I kind of felt like it was a good challenge because normally I don't think they look very good. So I'm trying to prove myself wrong and change my own opinion a little bit on it. Yes, I might be the only. I'm also the same person who said I don't really like the Northern Lights as far as like color goes and aesthetics. I don't know. Something about it always makes it feel alien. Um, so yeah, I say this a lot about stuff. Also, deserts, not really my thing. So I have a lot of like, not favorite subjects to paint that I still paint fairly regularly. Um, and underwater scenes. Sometimes things just start feeling a little samey to me, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of variation. Yeah, Steph, how are you doing? How was your day? Are you? I assume you're home from work. Hope work was good. Hopefully it wasn't too stressful. I don't know if Mondays like super busy, hectic days for you. I feel like Mondays would be busy days for you. Long. Okay. Butt spot. Great. Gotta love butt spot. Okay, I'm gonna switch to like a weird brush, I think. And I'm gonna just kind of softly plop in things down here. Plopping in the lines for the the leaves. Just trying to I'm using a very, very textured brush right now. Just trying to make stuff feel a little bit more painterly. I have a lot of these very hard edges down here, and I don't really want those. So I think just by playing around with some of the shapes and the softness of the edges, I can sort of start to combine some of the just the painterliness, and also things like blending shadow shapes together, where I don't really need the base of the shadow to stand out too much. Carmen goes hard. Man, I really got butt spot going, didn't I? You did. It's going crazy. Okay. Oh, I don't like this shape. So I have this big shape here. Compositionally, it seems weird because it feels like this shape that I'm outlining in yellow is sitting in this area. So it feels like it's this shape. It should be the lighter value so that I can separate the foreground and the midground. So I'm just switching up the values there. Okay, I don't know what this big foreground shape is, but it's kind of weird. I'm not sure if I like it. I like how none of my focus right now is actually on the rainbow. I should probably get that looking good. Although I don't know if I'm going to. I think I might just leave it like it is. Maybe imply some little shapes back here and stuff. I mean, after all, this is light, so I should still be able to see the stuff. that. And yeah, a lot of these shapes, I really am I just want to soften stuff. I don't want to blur it, right? I just want to soften. By using a texture brush or something. Big brush strokes, even. Okay, now maybe I can get some dark shapes down here, though. I don't really have any dark... I guess I can just use blue for that. I can just drop the saturation or increase it, and it should just darken the color automatically, mostly. Something like that. That could work. Maybe also... I mean, I am pushing this pretty far back. There's going to be a lot of depth here. And do I want that much depth? I think I do. Yeah, I do. When in doubt, more depth. Always better. Maybe also there can be some blue shapes here. Ooh, this leaf is nice. That was an unintended shape, but I like it. Maybe let's get some light in there. Normally I'm not big on rendering things like leaves, but I think if you're just going to make little outlines, sometimes it's good to plop a little bit of light direction on them. So if you have like a blue ambient light, you can just slap some blue on there on top. It mix it right into the color so that it looks like there's some light from above shining on it. So you should probably only do that on stuff that is already defined, not random shapes that still need reworking. So like this shape is kind of wonky. Just add some blue or some green. There we go. Also, this can be some red. I realize red doesn't really shine on green that well, so it will just be black. I think that's a thing that is hard to remember. But basically, if you're working in pure RGB, so like pure red light or pure green light or pure blue light, those colors pretty much don't interact with other objects of the other colors. So like pure red is not going to illuminate a pure green object because red light, green doesn't, like there is no green light to reflect back in red light, right? So it just absorbs everything. Because the idea of like a green object, right, is it absorbs everything but green light so that you see the green. But because red has no green in it, it can't reflect the green light. So that's kind of something to remember if you're doing these like fantasy or sci-fi or whatever scenes. Milenik, how do you say your name? Melanchly. I don't know how to say it. Mel. Hi, Mel. Well, welcome, Raiders. How are you? Thank you so much for the raid. You can call me. I realized that with the raid call at the end. I was like, I don't know how to say your name, but I'm just gonna. Yeah, then I saw Mel raid. How are you, Mel? How was your stream? What were you streaming? Helena. Hello, Helena. I know Helena. It's totally fine. Ningyum TV. I'm bad. I'm just bad at names. A brutal martyr. Welcome in. Block Bell. Mel told me to be nice, so I will be mean. Look at you, rebel. Uh, very. I'm glad I'm not the only one who tells people to be nice when going into new streams. It's as if people are gonna be mean, you know. Hey Joe, how are you? I'm doing well, Helena. How are you? I'm good. How are you? We were streaming Little Nightmares 2. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Let me Google it. Hold on. Let me Google. I'm assuming it's a game. Wait. Little Nightmares 2. Somehow I failed to copy paste. Images. Let's take a look. Ooh, I love the art. Dang, the art's super cool, actually. A dude with a bag on their head with some really cool dramatic blue lighting coming out of a TV. Ooh, this game looks sweet. Wait. Is this a... This looks like it would be a great, like, two-player game. Is this a multiplayer game? This reminds me of... Yeah, what kind of game is this, actually? I don't know anything about it. I've been following for a year. I'm allowed to be mean. That's fair. No, yeah, we don't. Yeah, I don't think I have follow age going on, but yeah. Very good looking game. I usually do art streams, but taking a bit of a break. Oh, nice. That's cool. I usually ask Mel to ban me on her channel since she doesn't do it. Can you do it? Sure. No, I'm not gonna ban you. I, if I were better at using Twitch, okay, so I've been streaming for like 4 years, and I still have no idea how. Like, I do know how to ban people, by the way. I do ban people somewhat. Okay, well, I ban bots all the time, but I don't feel like I'm comfortable banning and unbanning people quickly, and I'd probably goof something up and like accidentally keep you permanently banned. If I were like more savvy with like doing stuff on Twitch, I would probably ban you just for the fun of it. No, I don't think I would. I'd feel bad. Yeah, I would just feel bad doing that. I don't know. Mods can do that if they want. Preferably don't, though, because I think that resets the follow age. And I don't know. That's weird. I'm not a big fan. But anyway, hope you're streaming it well. Don't give in. Yeah, I'm not going to give in. Do you have a ban link? Go. Wait, what? A ban? Oh. Oh. And that not the word link. I misread. Maybe they do. Well, sometimes you do have to bring the hammer down people. Yeah, for sure. It's happened very few times. Typically, it happens with, yeah, I mistook the word. Uh, yeah, there's been times I've banned people, but typically it's people who they join in for the first time and they're just, I swear they're just trying to get banned, and it's like again, I think you're right, Helena. Some people just like to get banned or they try to get banned. And so sometimes people will join a chat and just say inappropriate things right from the start. I think it's always intentional, but I don't have any problem banning those people. But because it just makes Twitch a worse place when they're around. So, but yeah, welcome in everyone. My name is Joe. I do a lot of environment painting. I realize I was very zoomed out. Like here's my painting, guys. Look at this. Like I'm painting for ants. But yeah, so somebody suggested that we do a rainbow painting today, and I thought that was a good idea, and so I did a few thumbnails. These were our rainbow thumbnails. Well, only 3 of them have rainbows in them. But yeah, and then we voted on this one, and now I'm going to turn it into a painting, and this is what we're working on. So it's kind of fun. I am not normally a huge fan of rainbows in environments. I think they look sometimes they look kind of tacky, and honestly, this might, but whatever, it's fun. I'm enjoying it, and yeah, so it's also a challenge to make it not look bad, you know? Uh, your art's looking super good, Joe. Oh, thank you, Mel. Yeah, I appreciate. Mel, since you said you usually do art, do you have a link to like an Instagram or anything? I'd love to share some of your art, if you wouldn't mind. We would like to see. Also, I still have a full cup of tea. I've been streaming for 3 hours, and now my tea is cold. But yeah, I guess if I had to summarize my stream for anybody who's new, I do a lot of, I guess, idea exploration. If you've ever been a person who's like who says things like oh, I like painting but I never know what to paint, or I never have good ideas, or I don't understand how other people can have such good ideas. I'm sort of the mind that um like you don't need to start out with a good idea to develop it into an idea, right? Not all I like. I sort of the you don't have to be some sort of like ideas don't need to just pop into your head. You can sort of start anywhere and sort of develop them, and you can start in doing editing and like you don't have to be able to like envision this grand thing before you start. So I'm very much like I'm a big fan of taking an idea and playing with it, exploring, seeing where it goes, asking questions, saying what is this? Suppose it's this. What would this look like? And then you start to go down that rabbit hole. And so that's kind of what I like doing on stream with environments. Sometimes it's just starting out. Here, I'll show some random stuff of mine. Um, so sometimes we'll start out with blobs that look like this. That could be something. This is a tower, kind of poorly, bad perspective tower, but it's a tower nonetheless. A painting like this, which kind of looks like a house and like a forest. And in this case, we actually went with this one, so it was a house and a forest. But as I started working on it, I'm like, you know what, let's make this look more like a house and more like a forest. And so I started painting those. And basically, by the end of the process, we get somewhere that looks kind of like this. I think, no, this isn't the final, but this is getting there. And then I kept developing it. I kept working on it. And I think eventually it looked like this, actually. I changed it a bit more. But anyway, so it's kind of this... Your idea can be as simple as, like, a little color blob like this, and it can turn into something that looks okay-ish. And it can be something that you actually are pretty excited about at the end. It's almost like you're... Yeah, I guess it's very much going on an adventure, kind of. It's saying, oh, like, I think initially I had an idea that these were, like, tombstones or something, right? I'm like, oh, these kind of look like tombstones, and maybe this is a graveyard. And then I think at some point I'm like, you know what, let's make it less doomy and gloomy. And so I added some like bright light or something. I'm like, oh, that looks like a fairy. And then I'm like, what if I added fairies in here? That would make it more cheery. And then I kind of just kept going. And then I had to rework the house designs because each time I went, I didn't like the composition. And then I'm like, let's darken stuff. Let's focus more on the light or something. So anyway, that's kind of this whole progression. And we try to do that every stream. So this was, oh, nope, that was this stream. This was last stream, for example. We did an underwater painting, stuff like that. So I try to go as far as I can. Kind of weird, my wife likes classical music, plays violin in an orchestra, and loves tea. I mean, classical music, I guess, the weirdest part about that is probably just classical music. Like, there's not... I feel like classical's not like the most popular, but it also was like totally the most popular back in its day. So like, I don't think there's anything wrong with classical. A lot of people like tea, by the way. Tea is quite a popular drink. So yeah, I don't think that's too weird. Nothing wrong with yeah, that's cool though. Plays violin in an orchestra. That's awesome. Oh yes, go eat. Go eat, Mel. I'll go in a bit. Yeah, yeah. If you're hungry, go eat. Ooh, here's Mel's art station. Okay, I was blabbing. Hold on, let me share Mel's stuff. Feast your eyes on this. That's probably what Taps or somebody was saying with the email. But yeah. So here is this. This is Mel's stuff. Oh, it's so good. These are also good. Uh-oh. Nudity. Just kidding. Maybe. Don't ban me, Twitch. I'm a tea drinker. I mean, yeah, he's good. Nah, this is so cute. Look at these shapes. These shapes are so good. Sorry, I meant I was sorry, I meant it was interesting in relation to you also indulging in the music indie. Yeah, it's funny. I'm actually not that big of a classical music fan. I just like non-lyrical music on stream. And yeah. Wait, is this the right person? Am I showing the right art? Did I click your name? Am I confused? Oh no, that's right. That's Mel. Okay. I don't know why. God, okay. I'm gonna I like so when I clicked on your profile, I wasn't sure if it brought me to the right spot because like down here is like where it says the name, but I'm like that there's like three lines in between, you know? I don't know why, but that confused me for a second. I'm like, am I in the right? And I guess I could have looked up here too, but anyway. No, these are amazing. I love this. I love the black and white stuff that you have, or like the mostly black and white stuff. Something else that's super creepy, but great. What is this? Bleeding tooth bung. Oh, ugh. I like it. No, I like these a lot. Oh, wants me to sign in. Stop. I'm not signed in on this on this browser. These are great. Oh, here, I will sign in. Nope, no, just kidding. It's not gonna have me sign in. I'm failing to internet right now. Ooh, Genshin Impact. Nah, these are so good. Check the book is amazing. The book? Which book? Book. Oh, this. Ooh, okay. Oh, yes, it's the. Oh, that is very nice. Murphy's Club book for personal project with my in Cyclop original bunny. Aw. Do you have the thing? No, it's okay. I was gonna ask if you had the thing where you can rotate it to go away. I like the pineapple stickers on the book. Great. Yeah, this is great. Very nice. I love your work. You have great stuff. Yes, very cute. Very cute stuff. I like it. Okay. Back to scribbling around for a little bit, and then I'm going to end stream in about 20-ish minutes. Murphy game is indeed a whole game in Mills style. Nice. But yeah, I'm not going to be streaming too much longer because I'm getting at the edge of my brain capabilities at the moment. It's been a long day. I'm getting tired. I wonder, is there any other tea guys here? I don't know. Thank you so much for having us here. No, thank you for the raid and bringing your community over. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Whoa, did I just? Please don't crash. Oh, okay, it was auto saving. I'm alert while I get some dinner. Nice. But yeah, no. Uh, bleh for tea. Tea is delicious. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I know Azel's not talking about tea, but I am. and but yeah, so I think I'm overdoing it on the rainbow thing because I didn't use any blending layers or anything, so it's very. Tea is delicious if you put a cup. Ooh, ew, no. Sugar in tea? Get out of here. No, I realize everybody likes their tea different ways. I mean, I put milk in my tea, and I think a lot of people that's weird. I drink a pot of coffee a day, and I do not mind tea though. Yeah, I mean, look, drink what you want. Do what you like. I don't feel like I feel like people who gatekeep food or like shame others for liking things that they like isn't that like pretty low? I mean, not to insult people because I know it's fun to make fun of people for their silly food choices, but like if you think about all the talk people have about like, you know, being true to yourself and like accepting of others and it's like and yet we make fun of people for what they like to drink. Like that is as petty as can be, you know? It's like of all the things, it's like I don't know. I don't really get it, you know? It doesn't my brain doesn't comprehend it. But I also get it because I totally sometimes will make poke fun at people for what they, for what they like to do. So, I'm totally a hypocrite, but so I do get it, but at the same time, people who are serious about it I think that's a big difference. Like people shouldn't be actually uptight about food choices, or like people who will get super. Like, you know, you have to make this food this very specific way, or it's like, okay, that's fine. But if you want to mess around and try something different, like, isn't that like what artists do also, and like chefs? You try different things, you mash things together, and you experiment, like, uh, and you see what you like, and you do what you know, and you don't do what you don't like, and you keep doing what you do like. I feel like that's like the basic fundamental of art or of doing things and figuring out what you like. Anyway, so yeah, people don't have to like tea. That's fine. Like, I don't like coffee, but I like the smell of it. It's delicious. I actually have thought of brewing pots of coffee just for the smell, but then I'm like, that's really wasteful, and then I don't do it because I can't bring myself to do that. Plus, I'd probably end up liking coffee eventually if I did that, which, I don't know. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, I'm normally not big into rendering stuff a lot. I'm kind of an anti-renderer. It's not my favorite part of painting. Let's put it that way. However, when it comes to sort of like foreground foliage, I actually quite do like rendering. Even if it's just like all in shadow and I'm just adding a little bit of light and shadow to stuff, I think it can quite look quite nice. I strongly dislike the smell of coffee, but the taste is okay. Really? That's so opposite of me. So opposite of me. I don't think I've really ever heard many people with that take. That is one hot take. You don't like the smell of coffee, but you like the flavor. I and strongly dislike the smell of coffee. That's like not even a I tolerate it kind of thing. Scratch that. Smell of dope is the bet. What? What are you saying? Coffee is muy bueno. It is. I mean, no, it's not. But I could see that view. Like, I think actually no, I stand by that. I think it probably is very good. I just don't like it. Right? There's a lot of things that are good that I don't like. I don't have to like everything just because I think it's good. Right? Like, that's I realize good is subjective, but no, I stand by what I initially said. I don't like coffee, but I wouldn't say it's bad. Cannot correct poorly written comments. Yeah. I love everything about coffee except for their unethical practices, but I wish there was a coffee perfume. Surely there's ethical coffee producers, right? I don't know much about coffee producers and how it's sourced and all that. Um, Surely there's not terrible ways of doing it, right? There has to be. Like, I almost refuse to believe that every coffee producer is unethical. But I also wouldn't surprise me because lots of people do lots of unethical stuff because they can, which is weird. I think coffee is an acquired taste. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of acquired tastes. I've made a bold statement once, like, I'm not a big fan of acquired tastes. I think if you have to suffer through something long enough to eventually like it, it's probably not worth liking in the first place. I don't know if I still agree with that opinion of mine, but that used to be my opinion. And then I acquired the taste for tea, and so now I don't go back. But I do kind of like, and I do think that it's, and actually, you know what? No, 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 no. I'm gonna take that was my old opinion. I used to believe that, but I don't believe that. You know why? Because for me, art was an acquired taste. I literally didn't like painting at one point. Like, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't really, maybe partly because I wasn't very good. Like, I totally think I learned to love art. Um, and I do think you can learn to like things, and your interests can change, and your tastes can change. And I think that's good. Yeah, I don't think I can take that stance anymore. I think that would be a hypocritical viewpoint if I were to, yeah. Especially when I've so clearly had acquired taste. But I will say, if something sucks at the start, and I don't really have an urge to go for, like, something as insignificant as a food or drink, um, I don't see the point in like forcing yourself to suffer through it long enough that you do like it. If you want to, if you eat something like a bagel and it's gross, like you don't need to force yourself to keep eating bagels. There's plenty of other food out there. Um, so yeah, in that sense, I think it makes no sense to like worry too much about it. But I think with things like, like a job or something or a career choice, like I do think there is some merit in trying things that are hard and you may not like at first because I think you can grow to appreciate things and like stuff. So I think I have a different view with that a little bit. Put a little bit of dark edge here. So many types of flavor, so much variety. True. Yeah, I don't really like herbal teas either. I pretty much am purely a black tea kind of person. I like milk in it, and that's it. A little bit of milk. Any kind of black tea. Okay, I got my tea you inspired me to get. Nice. What kind of tea did you get? Now I go outfit shopping in Zelda. Nice. Dang, everybody's playing Zelda. Kath's playing doing the Zelda. No, Taps is Zelda-ing. I think Kath probably is Zelda-ing too. Um, no. Kath was Zeldaing. I don't know if Taps was. I don't think Taps was. Kath's Zeldaing. My favorite are herbal and fruit teas. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I feel like this painting needs something. It's kind of boring. Maybe it needs a person. A cat. Hold on. It needs a cat. Okay, we're gonna draw a cat. Is this on the right layer? A little cat. How do cat legs look? They have like this and that. That's totally how I draw a cat. Yes, don't judge me for my cat drawing abilities. Taps at applying to jobs. Ooh, nice. Yeah, don't judge me for my cat drawing abilities. I know people are doing it because I'm doing it to myself. Okay, here's that. Yeah, Taps. Good luck on the job hunt. Get those jobs. Yeah, get all of them. Okay, this is not a good cat. This is like the worst cat I've ever drawn. So I applied to 32. Dang, that's a lot of jobs. Nice. Good luck. Good luck, Taps. You'll get them. You'll get those interviews in 3 days. Yeah, I've heard people of like applying to literally thousands and not getting replies. Not just in various industries, not necessarily in your field, but like sometimes, yeah, I feel like sometimes you have to be like super resilient and just like go crazy with it. Honestly, it sounds like the worst. It sounds horrible. I should start applying to jobs too. Anyway, I should probably let me do something. Let me find an image or a silhouette of a cat because this is atrocious. I need references. If you guys are ever painting and you feel like you're not good at painting something, just go find references and figure out how it actually looks. Because figuring out how something actually looks is far easier than trying to like fake your way through it. Just gonna throw that out there. Already two. So wait, do they tell you that they rejected you? Because that's at least nice of them. Like, I feel like you should write down the names of the ones who actually tell you no. Because most of the time they don't even have the decency to tell you no, right? They just ignore you. So props to them for saying that they rejected you, right? Yeah, the job hunt thing is for real right now, especially with layoffs in tech space. Yeah, that would make sense. Fortunate that I have a federal government FTE job where my job security is locked tight. Oh, that's nice. Steph, you changed your name. Yes, yes, Steph is Steph. Yes, yes, Steph changed her name. They send you nice emails. That's so nice of them, though. Like, I know it sounds almost joking when I say that, like, oh, it's so nice of them to tell you that they reject you, but I really do think it's nice, especially if they say why, right? If they say why, do they ever tell you why they rejected you? Because that would be amazing. Like, I would be so happy if people would tell you why they say no, because then you'd be like, this is like a good critique, and like, oh, well, I guess I'll come back when I'm ready or something, like. With job hunting, I would be the type A at places like if you didn't hire me, tell me why. I would get the dumbest replies. Too qualified. Do people really say that? So, do people actually tell other people that they're too qualified? And why? Is that like them trying to be like so they don't have to? I'm trying to understand why they would say that. Like, wouldn't the greedy business thing to do be like you want the best talent for the money? So maybe they would feel like you would hold them to too high of expectations and they couldn't manage that. Do you think it's like more of a like we aren't like they think that you're gonna like expect too much from them or something like you're gonna treat it more professional than it actually is, like if it's just some chill job or something. I'm trying to wrap my head around why they would say that. Like it seems like if somebody were coming to you and saying I'll work for you, and again, I don't I mean, on one hand, though, I do think that takes a little bit of guts on their part, right? I think if someone is coming to work to you or work for you for like, not much money and they are super good, like I think the greedy messed up thing would be to just accept them and be like, yeah, we'll just take you and pay you a little bit and you'll just be really awesome. But I also think that's kind of scummy, and they should pay you for what they think you're worth. And if they feel they can't pay you for what they think you're worth, then maybe it makes sense. So I guess it's kind of maybe respectable. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Like maybe in their head it's them being nice because they couldn't live with themselves if they hired somebody who was actually too overqualified for a job that they didn't actually need someone that good. But couldn't they have just said, like, I'm sorry, we found another. I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I ended up getting a job at the library at my grad school after that rejection, so I was happy. Nice. Real estate agency reception job. Huh. Interesting. So wait, Steph, do you when you were hunting for jobs, did you have to ask them why they didn't or why they rejected you, or did they normally just tell you? Like, did you have to like push for it, and then when you pushed for it, they would tell you? Because I feel like if they've already rejected you, and I'm kind of thinking about taps here when I say this, if they've already rejected you, you like what's the harm in saying, "May I ask why you rejected me?" You know? You'd call him. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Taps, you should totally do that. You should just like if they say no, like what do you have to lose? Like they've already said no. I mean, I guess time, but you could just like be like, "Hey, it's like I appreciate the response. That was, I appreciate the response. Most people don't even give you the courtesy of telling you that you've been rejected. But may I ask why?" Something like that. I feel like that would be a. I'm gonna do the sleep. All right. See ya, Taps. And good luck on the job hunting. Okay, let's move the legs of this cat down. I'm just trying to get the silhouette right. The silhouette of the cat. You busted your ass to get where you are right now. Honestly, it took such a circuitous route since I graduated college over 10 years ago. Never would have imagined I would be working where I am now with the level of independence that I have. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you did good. Good job. Yeah, I feel like independence and people trusting you to do your job is probably the best. Like, I feel like that has got to be one of the best qualities. Maybe not for everyone. Maybe there are some people who just don't really care about that. But I feel like for me, it's definitely up there. It's like I like to just do the thing that you wanted me to do, and I will make sure it gets done and I'll do a good job. But like once you start pestering me and like being annoying and doing other crap and like trying to micromanage things, then it's gonna get not fun for anyone because the work's gonna probably suffer. You're not gonna actually be as happy. Like you're only hurting yourself, right? So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. This cat needs a tail. Okay, that's kind of a tiny cat. I feel like cat should have been larger. There we go. Boom, larger cat. Just like that. I don't know how to draw cat faces, but I think I can figure it out. Add some light. Maybe it's a little. Something like that. Little cat face here. And then maybe the lines that go around the cat so to describe the form. Maybe something like this. Maybe the cat's mid-stride. Is that weird? That's kind of weird. Actually, that's really weird. Something like that is better. I have about 8 different hats fold into one with my entire role here at my new job. Folded into one new job. Nice. I think that's nice. I mean, if you have all that and independence, that sounds like a pretty good gig. I remember an interview with the dude who what's his name, Jake or something. He's a guy who does he's like the Photoshop brush guy. You know that like the what you know how Photoshop has all their brushes and stuff and like the brushes that come with the program. He's like their brush person, but he was talking about when he got hired at Adobe. He would he we're not right when, but like eventually at Adobe, he basically didn't have an actual job description. He would basically just jump around from all the different from a couple different departments, particularly like the Photoshop department, and he would basically just give his input and find things to do, and like he would just kind of make himself there, and like I don't need. I mean, he basically said he didn't really have a real job, but he would get paid as a real job because he kept finding things that were that they liked. So he kept kind of like coming up with ideas, and they weren't terrible, and so they kept him around. And he was like just he decided what he did basically. He was kind of his own boss. He didn't really do anything. He just kind of like jumped between departments, which sounds super unorganized, but also if you like that kind of thing, it seems pretty awesome. Like you just have these skills and you just kind of figure out what to do with them. I don't know. Part of me feels like that would be amazing. And like if he had a crazy idea, he could just pursue it because that was yeah. You just like to stick to the role that you studied for? That's fair. That is fair, Steph. Yeah, I mean, I will say, funny enough, even talking about all this like freedom in your job, I will say I think I really like structure and I like rigid rules that I know exactly where the boundaries are, and so I don't really have to. There's no like question about what the tasks are and what I need to be doing, and it's just I just need to do it. That makes sense. So I do like stuff like that as well. Um, I think structure and gosh, that looks funny. That doesn't look right to me. There we go. There's just a cat. I'm not sure if I like this cat, but we'll make this cat kind of maybe rainbowy. That could be fun. Red, orange, yellow. Green. Blue. Go red. Let's pick some red over. I don't know if a rainbow cat's gonna look good. Probably is not gonna look good actually, but whatever. This is almost definitely not looking good. Yeah, I'm not sure about the rainbow cat. Okay, that's sorry, cat. You're getting deleted. There we go. Something like that. Okay. There we go. All right, I think I'm gonna call it done here for now. I think I'm ready to end stream. I'm pretty tired. I've had a long day. I've been up since like 2 or something. Actually, no, before 2. I think I woke up at 1:30. So I've had a long day, and I still might visit my grandma, or at least I need to call her. So we'll see. Today is not over, but I think stream is gonna be over because it's been a day. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I realize you guys are still having a conversation, so I don't have to end quite yet. I don't like cutting people's conversation short. It makes me feel mean. Yes. Oh yeah, we do have a raid call. There's the raid call. You should copy paste it, and then we're gonna find somebody to raid. I don't know who we're gonna raid yet. But yeah, so here's our rainbowy painting. It's kind of fun. I think I like it. It needs a lot of work. I feel like about halfway through it, I just kind of stopped making progress on it. But I think overall, it still works. Yeah, that works. Not too bad, I think, overall. Nope, all good. My friend, get some rest and have a good one. Yes, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for coming in with the raid. I probably streamed a little longer than I should have, and I feel like my streams always suffer in the last hour where I start sort of trailing off and struggling to find my thoughts. Okay, so Chlor is online, but I think we just... No, we didn't raid Chlor. We raided Izikawa last time. We could raid Chlor. We could also raid somebody else. I don't know. Anthony Wheeler. They're online. PG Rayner is online. Oh gosh, I have things trying to play. Ads trying to be loud. I like the rainbow painting. Thank you. I was pretty happy with the rainbow painting. I think the rainbow itself could have used a lot of work. But I don't know. It's fun for a day's painting to do a little environment painting. Yeah, we could raid them. I think we're gonna raid Chlor. I don't know. Today I'm kind of tired today, and I think Chlor is more used to me raiding and running than other people. And I think I like to just raid people who I don't know, used to raiding a lot. When I don't have anybody, when I don't want to like be super interactive and chatty. So probably I'm gonna raid Chlor. I mean, I am raiding Chlor, quite literally. So yeah, but yeah, thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a good day. I will be live next Thursday. And yeah, I appreciate all the follows, all the subs, all the just hanging out and painting and sharing and raiding and all the stuff. I do have a raid call. You should totally copy and paste it and post it for Chlor. And what else? Yeah. Hope to see you again. Thank you all for being here. Take care. Don't forget to hydrate and stretch and sleep and all the stuff. And yeah. See ya. Bye-bye. Adios.